It is our mission to embrace the ideal that our show shall always strive to belittle the stupid and to play an occasional song. We shall also strive to take all of your requests, but to never, under any circumstances, play those requests. It is our mission to offend as many people as we can in the shortest time possible. We shall always remember that no matter how pointless and stupid the things we say are, we shall present them in such a way that they will be lessons that will last a lifetime. We shall strive always to do nothing and to be mean. We shall strive mightily to always be the #1 morning show in Salt Lake, or, if not that, the #2 morning show, or at least somewhere in the top 15 or 20 morning shows. At least once a year, we shall go to someone's home, and we shall eat really good food, and we'll make you wish that you could be there to share it with us. And finally, it is our mission to always remind the listeners that we never lie, and we're always right. So let it be written, so let it be done.
Gang of misfits and dope addicts are here.
And mic drop. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be the last time you hear the Radio from Hell show. That's it. We're out. It's beyond these days.
Yeah. Nope. It's just these days.
Just these days.
Gina called it.
Yeah.
She saw those kids yesterday in Florida.
What's the name of that song?
Take the power back.
Take the power
Just
back.
take the power back.
Mm-hmm.
I thought.
Yep.
Yeah. Well.
I thought, kids.
Good luck.
Hang tough.
If I see one more God-forsaken tweet from Donald Trump that says
this morning
if we have a bunch of very talented teachers with guns, that's just what we want. Yes, sir. Talented teachers with guns. You know, you make $40,000 a year.
40?
So, well, you know, when you get up there a ways, you know, and you have a gun, but you know, sorry, we can't buy school supplies for you. Oh, yeah. You'll have to buy your own bullets.
Yeah. They're not even buying their school supplies for them, and you expect them to learn to be proficient with guns.
No, that's not even the
99% of the teachers who hear that are putting their hands into their heads and going, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, that's the answer.
That's what I want to do. I want to go into my 3rd grade class and try to teach them geography and be packing.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, good morning. I don't feel well. We were out late.
Had a long day yesterday.
And had to go be on the TV, which we'll tell you about tomorrow. We had the film festival last night, which we'll tell you about coming up on the show. Our great dear friend Punk, who was not at the film festival, but had the opportunity to watch every stinking one of those films. I will actually.
They were good.
The quality was really high this year. But he watched all of them online, and he's going to. What time is he going to do that?
That's 7:45.
That's 7:45.
He was a judge.
Yeah, he'll talk about that coming up. I do have one happy note before we start taking your check-ins and all of that.
What's that?
Yeah, yesterday, and I don't think it was at this time, but I was talking about photos of me that were at Bryce Canyon, and I said. I look horrible. I thought I looked horrible in these pictures. There are a couple of photos from last weekend. I can't stand the way I look. And there was a woman on Twitter who said, "You're right. You do look horrible."
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And her name
not very
is
nice of her.
Well, her name was Angie Wood Murray, and she was making a joke that was lost because I couldn't see she didn't post the picture she was commenting on. I also took a picture at Bryce of a big hoodoo, a big monolith, just a big piece of rock sticking up into the air. I had taken a picture of that, and she said, "Bill, I meant this is the picture I meant when I said you're right, you don't look very good." like the picture of The Rock. See, she was making a little joke there, which I get. But I criticized her for having the. And people are doing this all the time. I don't know how they do it. It's some app or something on your Instagram.
It's
Snapchat.
Or is it Snapchat where you put the little ears and the little animal noses?
Yeah.
And she had that on her profile picture, and I said, it looks horrible, and people who do that are stupid.
Yeah.
And so she's tweeted back. She said, this is the photo that I was commenting on because I think I'm funny. And then she said, and you did inspire me to change my profile picture. You're right. Stupid picture, no more. Love you guys, Angie. So Angie, thank you.
Now, my favorite part of that whole commentary was when you were talking about how those animal ears and things make you look stupid. You started with not to be insulting. That was my favorite part of it.
Did I?
It got past me. I didn't get a chance to comment on that. But it was
not to be
insulting.
Not
but
to
that
insult
makes
you guys,
but you're stupid.
You guys are stupid for doing that. I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that as truth. There's a difference between insults and truth.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, that's what that is. Thank you. I didn't know I did that. That is funny.
It got past me before I got a chance to comment on it.
Yeah, I like it when you do hold up though, and so wait a minute, Bill. Wait now. All right, let's get your check-ins going here. Check in with the Radio from Hell show 1-877-602-9696. 877-602-9696. Check in with the Radio from Hell show. Tell us how your morning's going. Tell us that you've changed your profile picture with you have those dumb animal noses on and ears. Little kids can do it, maybe.
Sure.
That's okay. 877-602-9696.
Little stupid kids.
Yeah, well, the little dumb ones, which is most kids.
Yes.
Most kids are just the little dumb ones.
I'm the choir.
All right, check in.
Let's get this going. We got news and all that on the way. It's a big show today.
Yeah. Oh, we have a prize for the check-ins, too. Shut Up and Dance tickets.
I'll tell you more about that in a minute.
Films, we had the film festival last night, and Salt Lake Film Society, they used to host the Radio from Hell Film Festival, but then they figured out that was not a good idea.
They got smart.
No, really, they're
great. They're full of the Oscar films right now.
That's what they're doing right now.
If you want to get caught up before the Oscars are on March 4th, I haven't seen Phantom Thread. I feel like I need to go see that.
Someone should.
But it's getting a lot of mentions, and Salt Lake Film Society has all of them.
Salt Lake Film Society, your home for independent movies and documentaries. And they have a podcast too.
Oh yeah,
the Salt Lake Film Society's Talking Film podcast. They do deep dives into all kinds of films. So listen, go to slfs.org. Please find out more information there. Subscribe to the Salt Lake Film Society's weekly email for updates and join the Red Carpet Club. slfs.org.
X96 is your home for nonstop.
Now, speaking of dramatic interpretations, no way.
Thespians.
What you guys do there is not really that at all, is it?
It's dramatic.
They're putting on a show.
Yeah, we're putting on a show.
They found some old costumes in a trunk.
And they're going to save the school. Or the church or whatever. Hey,
Last night at the theater doing my show, Spirit of the Holidays.
Plug the theater.
At the Desert
do it.
Star.
Yeah, plug it.
Plays until New Year's. A friend of the program came to the show and brought her family. She had actually just previously been. She went and grabbed herself a best of CD and then decided to come.
So a real
and
friend
watch
of
the
the
show.
program.
Yeah, a due friend of the program. And then came to the show. I said I knew that she was going to be there. She was there with her husband. I said, "Well, stick around afterwards. I'll say hello, see what you thought of the show." And afterwards, we were talking, and her mother tried to adopt me.
Huh?
From what I understand, because we talk about how my family is trying to push me out
Oh,
of
yeah.
the
You're
house.
a big
very
kid
much
now.
so.
26 years old,
It's
you have
time
the
to have your
college
own-
degree, you don't clean your room, it's time to get out. A woman, the mother of this friend of the program, offered to adopt me last night. You can put a lock on your door, Richie. I've got the whole basement to yourself.
You're considering this, aren't you?
I started the application process last night.
Yeah, why don't you go sponge off someone else?
Your
It's not
family's tired.
sponging.
Well, what do you call it?
Well, what do you give them in return?
A show? Do you
I can.
dance and sing and perform
I
for
sing
them?
in the shower, and that carries throughout the house. And I'm good at lawn mowing. That doesn't do any well in the.
No.
I can shovel snow.
You never have time to do any of
I
these
can do any of
things.
that stuff, but they offered, and so I'm seriously considering, because it's over in Sugar House,
You are seriously considering.
moving in. Maybe not on a permanent basis, but becoming a resident of this home for
This
like a
will
month.
end badly.
This is a little creepy, Richie.
Someone just.
You mean this isn't like when Fonzie moved in with the Cunninghams?
That's what
Over
he's
the
thinking.
garage?
That's what
Yeah.
he's thinking.
You mean it's not like that at all?
Hey, Mr. and Mrs. C.
Because, that never happens. I'm sorry, Richie.
I don't need much.
It is a little weird.
You know what we really need is a few episodes of Happy Days done by squirrels. Wouldn't that be?
Oh,
Just to go back to that for a
that
second.
would be awesome.
Sit on it.
I'm convinced though
Yeah.
that I could move out, not have a place, and find places to stay.
Oh, I'm
Of
convinced.
course, yeah. You
Well,
could.
you do it. You do it anyway.
Well, no, but I mean I could move out of mom's, move out of
Sure.
dad's,
Yeah.
and I'm seriously considering
just-
that come the first of the
Just
year,
rotate around.
and just
You'd be
go
living
around.
out of your car is what you'd be doing.
which is no different than what I'm doing at this point. Really, if you've seen my car,
Yeah.
yeah.
I said something to Richie the other day. I said, "Why don't we go in your car?" And he said, "Because there's only room for the driver."
Right.
I see some of you, one of you, is there to check in with the Radio from Hell show. So there are 2 lines open. It's your chance to be a part of the least popular feature we do, something, a feature that people would really like to see go away. But if you call in, we'll keep doing it. 877-602-9696.
Opening the show brought to you by National Auto Plaza, who builds the best trucks. National Auto Plaza does lifted accessories you haven't even thought of yet, all to take your next adventure to a whole new level.
So the moon is waxing toward being full. It's 41.5% of full right now. It was less full than that yesterday. That's how it works. The next full moon will be March 1st. And we will have a moon rising today at 11:08 a.m. Today being Thursday. It's the 22nd day of February in the year of our Lord 2018. And this is North America's most ferocious radio broadcast. Coming to you from high atop the 2nd story of the 12-story Broadway Media Tower, it's Radio from Hell. Starring the Lords of Morning Radio, the Sons of the Soil, the Kentucky Colonels, Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi. That's the 3 of us right here. The senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show is Richard Waiting for Kerry to Die Stedman. Dylan Allred, no relation, is producing video for the show, which you can see right now, x96.com/live. You see us here in the studio. You'll also see little graphics and all that kind of stuff. And there's stuff during the commercials, too.
Actually, Dylan digs deep into the audio archives and plays best of stuff.
Little best of segments.
Stuff that we can't/won't play on the radio.
Oh, you can hear it only there, is what you're
It's
saying?
the only place you can hear it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued, and we can't hear it in here.
Well, if you pull it up, well, you don't have speakers over there, but you know.
All right. And then let's see. Okay, I think it's Katie for short is here today. So your check-ins, 877-602-9696. I think still only one person wants to save this feature.
Well, we have a prize maybe that will get people calling. A random checker inner will receive tickets to, let's see, Chicago Nights. From the creator of Thriller comes Odyssey Dance Theater's Chicago Nights, the story of Chicago in the 20s, March 1st through the 10th at Kingsbury Hall. Visit odysseydance.com for tickets and details. The tickets we're giving away are for the March 10th, 7:30 performance.
All right, specifically.
All right.
Oh, look, other people want to join in.
Chase.
Good morning.
Hi again.
Good morning, Chase. You said again, so remind us.
Regular.
You're okay. So well, I'll try not to talk while you're talking, but you do the same.
Okay, I'm done. Just what were you asking?
Never mind. It's not nice to hear from you. Do you have something you want to say?
Yes, I completely forgot to mention yesterday what I do for my job. I actually write fiction books. I haven't really published any yet because they're not completely finished yet, but I'm getting really, really close.
Chase, how old are you?
20.
How many books have you written?
8-ish.
Meaning you haven't finished them. You've started 8.
It's really not really writer's block, but how do I connect one book to another when they're in a series is the main problem I'm having.
I see. So
what are they about?
So I'm mostly a fan of all the fiction, dragons, castles and stuff. So that's what most of my books are about.
So that's your
a few
job.
of them are modern.
That's your job. You making a lot of money with that yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Here's a quick little writer's trick to connect all of those books. Very simple. A wizard did it. That's how you can fix any problem at all. You know, how did you get from here to here? A wizard did it.
The thing is, the main characters are basically all magic. So
well, see, then you can you can alter reality and time, and you know, it's different timelines could merge, and you know.
So, Chase, is your parents' basement a good place to write?
It's actually my brother's basement, and yes, it is.
Okay,
all right,
all right, Chase. See you later.
See ya.
We knew Chase when.
Yes, Luke.
Good morning, Luke.
Hi.
What's up with
Good morning.
you? Good morning.
Oh, I thought I'd check in today. I'm on my way to pick up my son from primary children's.
Oh, what was he there for?
A sickness?
He had a cleft palate, but not one on the outside where like his lip is. On the inside of his mouth, on the hood of his mouth, called submucous cleft palate.
I've not heard of that.
Wow.
How old of a little guy is he?
He's 1.
1. So I assume it makes it difficult to talk and or to learn to talk even, right?
Yeah. Well, he couldn't hold hard sounds because he had just a hole in there, and then also eating was really difficult.
Oh, okay.
So and what's his name, by the way, Luke?
His name is Forrest. You guys told me not to name him Forrest, but my wife said that she didn't care about your opinions.
Well, good for her.
As well she should.
She's a smart woman.
So forest, as in a group of trees.
With 2 R's.
What and Luke? So, do you mind saying your last name?
Sure, it's short, as in not tall.
Forest Short. Yeah, I think we were right.
No.
I'll bet he. Send us. You mind? Send us a picture of Forrest. I'll bet he's a cute little guy.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, Luke. Nice
Good
to
luck
hear
with
from
that.
you.
All right. Let's go to Braxton. Hello, Braxton.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
What's up with you today, Braxton?
In traffic again.
Mm-hmm.
I only listen to you guys when I'm in my car. So.
You can podcast us or stream us other times.
That's not good enough, Braxton. You're going to have to do better.
It's not good enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know you think you're trying, but you've got to try harder. Yep. What kind of a job do you have, Braxton?
Security.
Oh, that's right.
We talked to him yesterday about
that's
that.
right.
Yeah.
So
the notepad.
Yeah, with a very intimidating notepad. Can I guess you can't really listen to us while you work. So when you get home, you can find the podcast of the Radio from Hell show and listen to most of it.
Mm-hmm.
True.
All right, Braxton.
Yeah.
Try harder,
We
Braxton.
gotta go.
Have a good one.
Well,
I love your guys' check-in.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I don't like the rest of your show, but this is awesome.
We have a very intimidating check-in.
Yes. Let's see. Teacher Emily checking in. Trooper S checking in. Sounds like Chase is ripping off the Sword of Truth series. Oh, come on. They're all that.
They're all a wizard
all
and a
the
dragon.
wizard dragon. It's all the same. Come on. Let's see. Banker Ben here. I need 110%. I have a 7 a.m. meeting, and then I have to lock the bank up at 6 p.m.
Well, Ben, I need a loan, so how's that?
London friend of the program. It's been 6 weeks since my shoulder surgery. I'm finally able to start my physiotherapy exercises for my shoulders. You know how much this is going to cost me?
Nothing?
Nothing.
In England there?
How about that?
It's that rotten national health they have there.
A lot of people texting and checking in, and we just don't have time to get to you all. I'm sorry.
Thank you, though.
But thank you. Big boy news coming up after this. Also, Geek News on the radio. I got something, 2 things especially for you.
Me?
Yes.
Huh.
So stand by for that.
I'm excited.
Also, beat Gina at 7 o'clock with some fine prizes for that. Yes, Richie. Oh, sorry. This works better if this is on.
Carrie couldn't tell you what's on the show coming up without a printed page from the Valley Office System. Listen to this.
Copies.
All of these.
This show functions so much better now with our Valley Office System printer.
Yeah, and so does all of my documents that I bring from home to copy.
So great because it's not only we have a copy machine, but in my room I have a printer. Other people will be able to empathize or sympathize with this. You know, you pull out the tray, you push back in the tray, paper jam, you're pulling it out. You don't have time for that. If you have that sort of situation in your office, if you're not the person in charge of that for your office, tell the person who is in charge in your office to go to valleyofficesystems.com. Right now, you can get 60 days of free service by signing up for your no-obligation in-office consultation. They'll come to your office and they'll say, here's what Valley Office Systems can do for you. Stop having the headache that you have with a printer like that. Just go to valleyofficesystems.com. Valley Office Systems is beyond business as usual.
It's all good.
Oh,
But
really?
we have a sponsor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no delays so far. Everything's green lights all the way up and down the Wasatch Front. Try a Subway starting 5 fresh value meal featuring the favorite subs of the Utah Jazz starting lineup and enter to win a VIP suite experience. Go into Subway and find out how to enter.
Keep the radio on. A 1-hour nonstop music wingding starts at 10. From Hell on X96.
6:35. We got Geek News on the radio coming up also. Beat Gina.
It's for a Prohibition gift card and ex-ambassador tickets. It's
It
a good
is-
prize today.
It is Heath Ledger trivia. And I'll explain why coming up, but it's pretty easy stuff. I thought when I heard Heath Ledger trivia it would be a little tricky, but it's pretty easy.
Okay.
Pretty easy stuff. But right now, Big Boy News and a Pinuendo brought to you by
Lucky's Auto Credit, where $77 and a job gets you a car. 2 locations, Salt Lake City and Ogden. For program details or to apply online, visit luckysautocredit.com.
Let's see. I want to follow up on a couple of things here, Gina. Follow up for you now. That story of romance thwarted, true love thwarted, where the father and the daughter couple who planned to get
gross.
married.
Yeah.
That's right.
Gross.
North Carolina father and daughter who allegedly planned to wed were charged after authorities were notified about a possible love child. Stephen Plattle and Katie Plattle. He's 42, she's 20, extradited now from their home where they were living as a couple to appear in court in Virginia.
The nice thing is when they got married, they didn't have to change their
No,
monogram.
they're
they
not
already
married.
had the same.
They're not married. They're planning to get married because of the baby. They want to do the right thing.
They want to do the right thing.
They've had a child, so they want to do the right thing.
This kid will not be a bastard, I'm telling you.
So now, for some reason, Mr. Plattle is out on bail, but Katie, his daughter wife to be, is
Mrs.
still
Daughter?
in. Yeah, I want you to meet Mrs. Daughter. This is my wife. She's still in jail. I'm not sure why there's.
They should both be in jail.
And then, Gina, I want to do this story for you as well, and for everybody. If you go to x96.com/live, it's another house of horrors. An Arizona couple allegedly held kids captive in the home before a boy escaped out the window and alerted authorities. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of the story. I just want everybody to see the mugshots of these two people. And I want you to know that Mr. David Allen Turpin, the father here in this shot, is only 56 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
And his wife, Louise, is only 49 years old.
No, those are the California ones. The Turpins are the California ones.
Oh, you're right.
I keep track of these things.
Oh, you're right. I skipped through the story. So these, I guess it doesn't say how. Oh, no, it's Benito Gutierrez.
That looks more like a Benito Gutierrez.
That's Benito. He's 69.
That makes
kind of
more
fits
sense.
there. And Carol Gutierrez, 64.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Well, she's kind of a young 64, though, isn't
A
she?
young 64?
Don't you think she's kind of a...
No.
Well, with teeth.
Oh,
she would be a
okay,
young
if
64.
she had her teeth in,
yeah. Get John Smith to lend her his teeth. All right, so there you go. I just wanted you to see
Thank
the
you.
mugshots mainly. Police are praising the quick action of a student who saw a threat of gun violence regarding Wasatch High School here. That's up in Wasatch County, up in Heber. He reported that to Heber City police officers Wednesday night. According to the Heber Police Department, police were called Wednesday night. A student saw a social media post that contained a threat of gun violence at Wasatch High School the following school day. Police made contact with the suspect. He was cooperative with the investigation, but he was taken into custody. There was enough evidence there. I think some weapons were found. Law enforcement believes there is no remaining threat to student safety, at least from that person.
Yeah.
At least from that person. And then also, parents are demanding more answers. They are upset at the Canyons School District for not telling them sooner about a possible threat at Eastmont Middle School. Sandy police say a parent tipped them off Tuesday after seeing an alarming post from a student claiming that there would be a shooting at the middle school, at Eastmont Middle School. There's no joking matter about it, said Sergeant Jason Nielsen, a public information officer for Sandy police. Police tracked down the students involved, so more than one, I guess, and ultimately did not consider the threat credible.
But
they
still
were little,
good to check on it.
They were little jerks, you know, thinking they were being funny.
Being little jerks.
But I probably am not alone, but I've been thinking about this all week and haven't mentioned it. But I feel as though I'm just holding my breath a little bit.
What do you mean?
Waiting for yet another.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for another shooting. I'm just kind of, I'm holding my breath, and I expect it. Parents and students went to the White House to plead with Donald Trump and the Trump administration and the government in general and anybody who would listen to please do something about gun violence in schools. How many children have to get shot? And Donald Trump was there to listen, and we know he was there to listen because there's a close-up of a checklist he has in his hand while he's there.
Tiny checklist in his tiny hand.
And one of the things on the checklist it's on White House notepad.
Yep.
And one thing about it too is you look at the picture, he's got a monogrammed cuff.
Oh, he does
on his shirt.
Oh.
And it's what is he? The 45th president?
Mm-hmm.
It's the number 45.
Oh, really?
Monogrammed tastefully on the cuff of his shirt that he's wearing. And he's holding a list, and one of the items on the list reminds him to listen.
Yeah.
I think, what does it say exactly?
One is what would you most want me to know about your experience? This isn't his handwriting, by the way.
No, it's somebody prepared.
Number 2 is what can we do something help you? And then his fingers covered up. But the last one is number 5. I hear you.
I hear you. Remember to say, I hear you, so that they'll know you're listening.
If you'd like a visual depiction of a lack of empathy, it's right there.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to. And here's what I noticed, and you guys were giving me a hard time about this, but he's sitting there, and it's a room full of students and teachers, but the 3 people closest to him are these beautiful, stunning young women. And then you pan out to the crowd, and it's all the regular-looking people, but either he requested that or his people know him well enough that they surround him with beautiful young women.
Gina, I understand why you have fallen off this edge, but you're crazy.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
I don't want any no-uggos up on the stage.
I am not crazy.
Yes, you are. CNN legal analyst Jeffrey Toobin slammed President Trump's call to arm teachers. And to be fair, Donald Trump is not the only one calling for people. Let's arm teachers. One of the parents did.
Wrong.
One of the parents said, we need to have more security. We need to have guns. The teachers have guns to protect our children. Jeffrey Toobin, if you've ever seen him, he's a CNN analyst. He said, quote, when you hear the President of the United States say the answer is to give every teacher in America a gun, that's insane. Mm-hmm. It's an insane idea. Mm-hmm. I mean, seriously, did anybody go to school here? Does anybody remember their teachers? Do you think that we should give all of them guns? Do you think they want guns? Just what kind of a country do we live in when we're talking about giving every teacher in America a gun, and that's a solution to the problem?
It's not just that. We hear over and over, good guys with guns save us from bad guys with guns. And I saw this from several law enforcement and military people yesterday.
Yeah.
When military or police show up on a scene of a school shooting or something in a public place, everybody looks the same. You can't tell a teacher with a gun from a crazy person with a gun. They all have guns.
Why do you think when you see all the pictures of Parkland, Florida, and the students coming out of the school, they all have either their hands in the air or their hands on their each other's shoulders? Because they were told by the cops.
That's how we know.
That's how we know you're not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Put your hands on your fellow student's shoulders, or put your hands in the air, so we know not to shoot you.
But the police see, because there was somebody that showed up when Gabby Giffords got shot, and he was a good guy with a gun, and he said, I pulled my gun out and I looked, and I stopped myself because I couldn't tell, am I going to shoot another guy like me? Or am I going to shoot the guy? I can't tell a bad guy from a good guy.
My orchestra teacher, Mrs. Harmer, was not going to be John McClane.
Mrs. Harmer?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm Harmer.
She's not going to be John McClane. It's just not going to happen.
I'll do another quick story here before quick geek news. This story I love. Olympic figure skater Adam Rippon responded to actress Sally Field's earnest effort to make him her future son-in-law with surprise and admiration.
I love this.
He said he finds her matchmaking attempt pretty bold. So Sally Field's adult son is gay, and she was trying to fix her son Sam up with this figure skater, and
like
she
moms
sends
do.
she sent this figure skater guy some emails, I think, or tweets that said, you know, my son is a handsome young man. He's really nice. I think you two would be great together. And at first, people who saw this were a little taken aback by it, but the figure skater, Mr. Rippon, Adam Rippon, who I guess is a great skater,
he's very fun to watch.
And he said, you know, I'm touched and I'm charmed by this, and thank you very much. Now my guess is they will meet at some point because
who knows,
of this.
maybe.
But I don't know if Rippon is in.
There's some morning show somewhere that's trying to arrange.
Yeah,
them.
fix them up.
Yep.
But it's great.
I love that.
Thought it was great.
She's a good mom.
Yeah, there you go. All right, that's it.
All right, sports, weather, traffic, whatever you want to do here.
Brought to you by Try a Subway Starting 5 Fresh Value Meal featuring favorite subs of the Utah Jazz starting lineup, and enter to win a VIP suite experience. Going to Subway, find out how to enter. Oh, we got a gold medal. Thank you, ladies.
Yes, we did. Again, the women coming through.
Well done, ladies. Team USA over Canada, 3-2 in a shootout.
This would be hockey.
Yes. It's the first Olympic gold medal in women's hockey since 1998.
And it was apparently an exciting game that was could have gone. Well, it did go right down to the. Yeah.
And it was over. It was overtime. Yeah.
All right.
That's what the shootout is. So way to go, ladies. Weather, climate change is bringing you that, and it's cold this morning. 23 degrees right now. We'll get up to 37. Now we should get some snow overnight and into tomorrow morning. It won't be as huge of a storm as we had earlier in the week.
This is how I know it's cold, is when I get up in the morning, 3, the dogs go out to go potty with Daddy, and they do not stay outside. They do the business and run right back in. Run, full gallop.
Are you still peeing in the yard with them when it's cold like that?
Not when it's this cold.
Okay.
Summertime.
Right.
And traffic is great. We're green lights all the way up and down. And we don't even have a sponsor for it. That's how great it is.
Okay. Do we have a sponsor for this?
Geek News on the Radio is always brought to you by Cabin Fever. Love is in the air at Cabin Fever, located in the heart of Trolley Square, 5th South, 7th East. So much more than a card store.
All right. Yes. Let's see. We have Heath Ledger trivia for Beat Gina coming up.
And ex-ambassadors, tickets, and Prohibition gift card.
But right now, you, Bill.
Yes.
I know you love the old Lost in Space TV show.
I do. So do my kids.
And, And then they did that movie.
Which nobody liked.
Nobody liked.
It was terrible.
Matt LeBlanc and all that. Well, Netflix decided to make a series, a new series.
Really?
Oh, I told you about this about 1.5 years ago. But now we finally have a trailer for what it looks like. Do you want to come over and watch?
Bet I do.
This is our first look at...
Humankind evolves.
Oh, it's, what's her name?
I can't remember.
It's how we survive.
Molly Parker?
Marley Parker.
And Parker
Through
Posey.
ice ages, plagues, wars.
We don't get much of the series. We do get the Robinson family in their spacesuits.
We adapt our skills,
taking their final steps on
our
Earth.
languages, our very bodies in order to live.
Ooh, that's cool.
And then they go and they get on their
Earth is our home,
they get on their spaceship, the Jupiter 2.
but only so long as it keeps us safe.
Are they a mixed race family?
It looks like, yeah. It looks like the
When this
boy is
world
now a
can
girl.
No longer serve that purpose.
But you got Will Robinson right
Another
there bringing up the rear.
Oh, Will.
Colony.
Little Will Robinson.
Another chance.
Dr. Smith.
Oh, yeah, we don't have Dr. Smith there. We need him. You see it says J2 on their backpacks, Jupiter 2.
Will.
The
Oh,
rest
Will.
of human history
That's getting on the spaceship.
begins now.
Now we're out in space, and suddenly...
Impact detected. Brace for impact. Brace for impact.
That's Dr. Smith's doing right there.
Did you hear the robot?
Yeah. Well, he sounded like a kind of a mean
He
robot.
sounded like a Cylon, kind of, but he says the danger Will Robinson line. So you're getting Lost in Space TV series. Looks like it's serious, not a funny one.
Yeah, I sort of like they were.
You like the campy one,
and they were, they were being campy on purpose, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Now another show that you love is Legion.
Oh, my daughter is just over the moon, and she wants to watch the first season over again, and they haven't made it available.
Oh,
yet.
really? It's not on demand?
No, they're
Boy,
but I'm sure they're going to probably show it.
I hope so, because the thing about that show is it's an X-Men series, and the lead character it does not say in the show, but in the comic books, is Professor Xavier's son. So he's a very powerful telepath. And
you really sort of don't need to know anything about the X-Men much to enjoy it.
No, it doesn't really, stand up and shout. It's in the X-Men universe. It doesn't do that. But there's also another very powerful telepath in the show, and that's Aubrey Plaza.
Right.
And the great thing about this show was that it kept you guessing. It kept you wondering what was real and what was not.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that can be frustrating for some, but it's fun if you get into the show. So we have a teaser for season 2.
Okay.
And here's Aubrey Plaza making us wonder if season 1 even happened.
I love her.
Now, isn't that a little much?
How are you feeling since our last season? I need to remind you what you think is real never occurred. David Haller, he's a figment, a reflection of who you wish you could be. His lover, your repressed sexual appetite. His friends, surrogates for all the little broken parts of your psyche. The exciting lives they live are your dreamscape. It was all a projection of your subconscious. Nothing more. It's all in your head. You're what we call delusional. And you know what else? I'm not even real. And what's coming
That's
is...
creepy.
Well, what's coming is very, very real. But let's save that for our next season.
Oh, there you go. You got the second season of Legion.
She played that. She was that. She took a lot of roles in season 1. She was. She would change. Kind of. She was that character in season 1. The analyst.
Oh, the analyst.
Yeah, the analyst.
All right. So there's that for season 2. I've got a story about Walking Dead.
Yes.
I was going to do this story, but I'm worried it's going to spoil. I'm getting a no from Katie.
Katie says don't.
Can you
Don't
talk
spoil
around it?
Well, it's not about storyline, it's about business, which is where usually these things happen, where you can find out what's going to happen on your favorite show because of business.
What? Who's hired and who's...
Exactly.
Ah.
Exactly. I will just say that it's out there.
Okay.
If you want to find it, The Hollywood Reporter has a story about a cast member on The Walking Dead.
Let me guess. They have gotten tired of paying for Daryl's grooming bills.
I wish it were that. But you go out and find it.
Hand that to me.
You
She
sure?
doesn't care.
You don't care?
I'll look at it too.
Take a look at it.
I don't care.
But this Disney app that keeps threatening to be here any day to change our lives.
Oh, yeah, don't.
Yeah, I should.
No.
Yeah, it's business. This Disney app that's coming in 2019, where it's like all of your Disney, Marvel, Star Wars product is going to be available on that, and you'll pay like Netflix a monthly fee. They just keep adding to it. They're going to put the Muppets on.
Old-timey Muppets?
That and a new show.
Oh.
So you're going to get a new
like
Muppet
the
show.
new.
You and I were the only ones who liked that new.
I thought it was funny.
I didn't care for it much.
I thought putting the Muppets in the real world was a great idea, but they're not going to do that. It's going to be a different show, and that's where you'll see it. And now here's the thing about the Disney app.
Mm-hmm.
They've got all of this content that they've announced that's coming, and it's not even available, right?
Mm-hmm.
CBS has Star Trek, and they're threatening a new Twilight Zone, and that's it.
Well, they got Big Brother House.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So
I think you can watch old episodes of the Today Show. Oh no, wait, that's it.
You
NBC.
joke.
NBC.
You joke, but
Good Morning America.
Good Morning
there's
America.
Good Morning America on it. I mean, I just disconnected it after I watched the season finale. And I just finally disconnected it, but there was just nothing there.
So the season finale, and I won't do the spoiler, but I just have to say to you, Carrie, wasn't that terrific?
I loved it. I think this series is terrific, and I get a lot of crap from the fans for that. Finally, J.J. Abrams was on Stephen Colbert last night talking about doing The Force Awakens and coming back to Episode 9, and he had a couple of funny takes on it. So here we go.
You were a little twitchy about taking over Star Wars.
I was terrified, and luckily was surrounded by incredible people, and we had a lot of fun. And being back for Episode 9 is as surreal as it gets, and really exciting.
Now, I can imagine, like, when you made Episode 7, which was, again, it's like the highest grossing movie of all time, biggest opening weekend of all time. That's great. But the gravy must be that, like, Disney and George Lucas and the fans are so easy to please. Like, all of them. No one has any critiques of your work. There's no pressure. There's no pressure at all.
But the fans are as scary as it is to put yourself in that firing squad. The opportunity is always bigger than the fear.
Can I tell them what you did right before Star Wars?
If you want to. I'm not sure what you're going to say.
You called me up. You were in New York, and it was about 2 weeks before the movie opened. You said, "Can I come to your office and just drink?" You came to my office. You came to my office, and I poured just 2 glasses of Jameson. You're like, "Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know."
In fairness, I didn't say, "Can I come to your office and just drink?"
Yes.
I said, "Can I come to your office and drink?" Assuming we'd have a good conversation.
Right, exactly. And we did have a good conversation.
If it was just drink, that might be a little...
Yeah, so what can you tell us about Episode 9? I know nothing, but something. Anything.
I can...
Is there a new weapon that has more on the hilt? Are there more things coming out of the bottom? Does it rotate? Does it make julienne fries?
We have a script.
What?
Which is a big deal for me.
Doesn't it start shooting this summer?
It starts shooting end of July.
Okay, yeah, so a script would be handy. Or improv? Could we have the suggestion of a time period and a location, please? I heard Galaxy Far, Far Away and a long time ago. Based on that, a $300 million movie.
There you go. So there's a
Colbert.
JJ
What a
Colbert.
I didn't know they were buddies.
Colbert is a huge fan of that. And,
yeah, he's such a nerd.
And Lord of the Rings.
He's made friends with all of the famous geeks now.
And what Bill took away from that is Stephen Colbert has Jameson in his office. Why can't we have Jameson in?
We're getting new cubicles next week, and I'm gonna say that we have a full bar in my cubicle.
Seeing slow traffic now, I-15 southbound through Kaysville. It's just the usual morning slowing, though it's not an accident or anything. Add about 4 extra minutes to your commute through Davis County. Hastur Games has the best selection of the latest board games, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons & Dragons, and more. It's a great place to stay and play. Remember, Hastur has it, 6831 South State, and online at hasturgames.com.
All right. 877-602-9696. Line up now to play Beat Gina. She's got prizes for you if you beat her.
We've got Prohibition gift card and tickets to ex-ambassadors.
But if she beats you, you better have a prize to give her. So 877-602-9696. Subway,
Gina.
Delicious sandwiches.
Those are I'm hungry this morning.
Me too. I like a hot sandwich.
When does the Subway open?
And they do the hot sandwich.
Well, they do, and they've got their starting 5 fresh value meal. This is featuring the favorite subs of the Utah Jazz starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go in and get your sub and pick your veggies, pick your chips,
olives and green pepper,
pick your drink.
Yeah, Sun chips, yeah.
And while you're there at Subway, ask them how to enter to win the VIP suite experience with the Jazz. It's you and 3 of your friends in a VIP suite March 30th to see the Utah Jazz. You're going to get food, and you get to go there for the pregame warm-up, watch shoot around. And you also get 1 personalized jersey and a Jazz hat. There'll be 5 winters. Now, you have to go into Subway to find out how to win. But while you're there, you're gonna get lunch, right?
Yeah, you get a sandwich.
Starting 5 fresh value meals. Fresh value meal includes the purchase of any sub, drink, and chips. For complete contest rules and regulations, visit utahjazz.com/starting5. Subway is a registered trademark of Subway IP Inc., 2018 Subway IP Inc.
Radio from Hell on X96. With Utah's most trusted newsman, Bill Allred on X96.
All right. So is this sponsored, Gina?
Well, Carrie, here's what they'll win. In Beat Gina, the game everyone wants to play. Fabulous prizes up for grabs in Beat Gina. First, if you beat Gina, you could cut a rug on the weekends because Prohibition has dancing, live entertainment, DJs, and burlesque. That's right. You heard it right, burlesque. For a full events calendar, reservations, and more, go to ProhibitionUtah.com. You could win a lovely Prohibition gift card. But that's not all.
Oh.
No. X96 is proud to welcome ex-ambassadors to the Depot on Friday, May 4th, with special guest Jacob Banks and Shade. Tickets.
What?
It's SHAED.
Oh, okay.
Tickets are on sale now at all Smith Tix locations, SmithTix.com, and the Depot box office. Yes, you'll win a pair of tickets to that fine musical program.
All right.
Back to you, Carrie.
Thank you. We seem to have lost one of our contestants.
Oh, no.
Line 2 has dropped out. So,
He gave up before I even had a chance to hear what you had to offer.
Maybe his mother called
I mean,
him.
if you hurry, maybe we'll get to you. 877-602-9696, but you better be really fast because it is time now to play Beat Gina. Let's see now. Those are the prizes that you'll get if you beat Gina at today Heath Ledger Trivia.
That's right, Carrie.
And if she beats you, you got to give her a prize. Here's what you're competing for, Gina.
Okay.
Line 1 is offering a donation to the Road Home and a People magazine.
A People magazine.
Well, it
Not
just
a
says
specific-
People magazine.
oh.
It doesn't even say subscription.
Okay.
Or anything. I don't know. Line 3 is offering you a Walter Berry candle. I think that's a Walter Berry candle,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's, from Walter Berry
Walter,
Mhm.
I don't know. And 19 Crimes wine.
Oh.
So those are your choices.
Those are the two, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And people have been pretty good about bringing in the things that they promised, but I never did get my bottle of wild turkey.
Hey, that's
let's,
right.
Well, let's go the 19 Crimes then, because I would like to show you guys. This is a wine that you have to get an app on your phone, and the picture of the criminal on the label will talk to you and tell you about their crime.
I don't believe it.
That's
All right.
cool.
Well, that means you're going to be playing against Amber today for Beat Gina. Hello, Amber.
Hello.
All right, Amber, it behooves you, gives you the advantage to go first in this game, so I'll pull out the coin toss app and give you a choice of heads or tails. You decide.
Tails.
Tails? Let's see what we got here. It is tails. You go first. All right, it's multiple choice, so wait till you hear all of the possible answers before you spout off. I'm saying that to Gina, Amber, mostly. What? But the first person to 3 points wins. Amber, this is your question. If you get it wrong, Gina has a chance to answer it correctly and steal your point away, okay? First person to 3 wins. Here we go. Amber. What was Heath Ledger's first leading role? I have to emphasize leading role.
Okay.
A Knight's Tale, Brokeback Mountain, The Brothers Grimm, or 10 Things I Hate About You, Amber.
A Knight's Tale.
That is incorrect.
Gina with a chance to steal.
Would it be 10 Things I Hate About You?
That's correct.
I love that movie.
Gina, 1 point for you. You are ahead in the game, and you control the question.
This looks like a Gina question to me. What novel are Heath and his sister Kate named after? Characters in the novel. Is it A, Wuthering Heights, B, Snow Crash, C, Gone with the Wind, or D, The Firefighter's Woman Part 2?
Wuthering Heights.
That is correct.
It's 2-0.
I
Gina
didn't know that, though. That's
with a commanding lead.
Wow.
But Amber, you have a chance to claw your way back into the game.
All right. Amber, actors often look for influences to play certain roles. What or who did Heath Ledger consider his biggest influence to play the Joker? Was it A, Alex DeLarge from A Clockwork Orange and Sid Vicious from the Sex Pistols? B, Jack Nicholson's Joker and Mick Jagger? C, it's an original character? Or D, Tommy Flanagan and the comic book Joker?
B.
B, Jack Nicholson and Mick Jagger?
Yes.
That is incorrect, Gina.
A.
Alex DeLarge and Sid Vicious.
Gina
Wow.
sweeps the board and wins with that question. So,
We're getting wine.
when are you
We're gonna get some wine.
I'm sorry that you lost, Amber. You have to bring in the prize. Are you going to give her the prize anyway?
Yes, of course.
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, Gina will make sure that you get a prize too.
You can get the Prohibition gift card and the
pair of tickets to see the ex-ambassadors.
All right. Put you on hold.
Hang on, Amber.
And we'll get your information.
Here, give me another one.
This one's just kind of...
I thought it was the Tommy Flanagan one, by the way.
No.
This one's just kind of a fun trivia fact. I know you won't know this. What name was on the name tag of Nurse Joker?
Give me that.
Was it A, Selena, B, Barbara, C, Matilda, or D, Dave?
Barbara.
No, Matilda.
That's his daughter's name.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, then why didn't you guess that one? That would have been the logical guess. What?
Well, no, I mean, why would that be?
Here's one for you.
Okay.
Here's one for you. The Joker's scars are a recreation of what?
Glasgow Smile.
Well, you have many choices. A, the Glasgow Smile. B, Tommy Flanagan's scars.
Yeah.
C, the Chelsea Grin. Or D, all of them.
The
it
might be all of them.
It is.
Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they don't talk about how he got them, though.
Well, he tells different stories.
Yeah.
He's not to be trusted. He's a liar.
You know, there's that I forget the actor's name, who was on Sons of Anarchy. And he has those scars.
Like for real?
For real.
He was a gangster?
He was not a good guy at one point in his life, and he said, and he got the Glasgow Smile, for those of you who don't know, they take a knife and they just cut the corners of your mouth. And he had that happen to him, and he woke up in the hospital and said, I think I need to change my life around.
Traffic is good, so while I have your attention, let me tell you this.
Well, apparently you have a brand new
I do?
Yeah, on text.
Oh,
motorcyclist hit.
Oh, no. Let me...
Intersection of 7th East and 100 South. No emergency crews on scene yet.
That just happened.
Just happened.
Jeez.
Let's see. Brought to you by Join X96 and Real Salt Lake at the Beer Bar in downtown Salt Lake for the first ever tapping of the Uinta Brewery's new beer, RS Ale.
Oh, I see what they did there.
Corey O'Brien will be broadcasting live from the Beer Bar with RSL team members, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. This is today, giving away Uinta Brewery glasses to the first 50 people through the door and chances to win autographed jerseys from the team. Beer Bar is at 161 East 2nd South in Salt Lake.
It's right next to Bar X.
Yep. You can. There's a
there's a door
doorway
between
in between. You can walk between them.
All right. Do we have our boner candidates?
Yes, here are your boner candidates for round one coming up. Number 1, tanning troubles at Little Giggles. Number 2, all that and the damn skunk got away. Boner candidate number 3, sure, that's a reasonable response to a bitter divorce.
All right, boners, round 1. And big boy news and opinion window all coming up in like 4 minutes. Hang on.
On this week's episode of the Let's Go Eat Show, we're talking pot, Mary Jane, reefer, gauge, weed. That's right, with Erin Hyatt. She's an expert about all of that kind of stuff, about laws and where you can do it legally and how to do it legally. It's marijuana-centric on the Let's Go Eat Show. You can find us, of course, at iTunes or the letsgoeatshow.com. Worried about the circus performers.
What are they going to do? Maybe they'll all be DJs in LA now.
Well, I heard the Feld Entertainment family say, we're closing down the circus, 446 years, and we have 400 employees. and we are going to do our best to find jobs for them. And then they went on to say, there is some difficulty finding jobs for people who have been living on a train most of their lives, like
Their families
like a
that do
train.
it, yeah.
You know, a train that travels around the country. They live on a train. They're circus performers. This is the life they know. There's going to be some difficulty of job placement for them. So I don't know. I think maybe we should start some sort of program. If you can take in a circus performer,
won't you put refugee circus former refugee?
I don't want new circus people living next door to
no,
me.
Now think about it.
Circus
How
people.
handy it might be to have a circus performer of some sort living with you.
They could climb on your roof pretty easily.
Yeah,
I bet.
if you
clean
know,
out your gutters, I bet they could do that.
I bet they'd be very handy around the house. Circus performers would be they know how to do all kinds of things. They would know how to go next door and scam your neighbors out of stuff.
I don't trust them.
Yeah, they would know how to. I mean, if there are any, for instance, if you have neighborhood chickens, I'll bet they can steal chickens. Circus performers can do all
performers
kinds.
can steal chickens?
I think they know how to steal chickens. I think they know the best houses to get free meals. I think they know all kinds of stuff.
Well, I'm glad you've been worried about this.
I'm worried about them.
And I want to find a solution.
Where are they going to? But I did think about that. I mean, these people really have been. The Feld was one of the women, one of the daughters of the Feld family said, "We're going to try and job place, but some of these people have been living on the circus train most of their lives.
Maybe they can be engineers,
porters, waiters. You know, I don't know." Conductors, brakemen. It's just weird.
Not near me. Don't trust them.
Nope.
On X96.
That's character from the Orville is my favorite character on the show, I think. And what's his name? Bortus. Bortus. And that actor is great.
7:19 right now. Time for round one of your boner voting. Herein 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide with your vote, of these 3, which is the worst. Of these 3, which one deserves to go forward to Boner Fight and get a 50-50 chance at being Boner of the Day. It'll go up against the winner of round 2. That happens at 8:20. Boner Fight at 9:20. So 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you will vote. One of you lucky Boner voters will receive...
Well, you are lucky because it's a gift certificate to Gracie's.
Yes.
All right, here's boner candidate number 1. Tanning troubles at Little Giggles.
Little Giggles.
January Netherland has pleaded guilty to abandoning children at her illegal daycare center called Little Giggles Daycare.
I wouldn't have thought that was a daycare. I would have thought that was something else.
She abandoned the children, left them there alone to go to a tanning salon.
There she is.
There she is. She's got a nice glow, doesn't she? The woman entered her guilty plea Wednesday, and she to 11 counts of first-degree criminal mischief. They're recommending a 35-year prison sentence for January Netherland. Ms. Netherland was arrested after police found 7 children younger than 5, drugged, and unattended at her Little Giggles daycare in
Drugged?
Bend, Oregon. Yeah, I think she probably gave
Benadryl
them
or something?
yeah.
Y'all take a nap. I'll
Yeah.
be back in an hour.
I'll be back.
A little cough syrup for him and get out.
Okay, Little Giggles. 7 of the...
Well, they'll just let anybody open a daycare,
Well,
won't
no,
they?
they
it
said
was,
illegal
it was an
daycare.
illegal daycare. She just, as people do. I mean, Dylan and his sister kind of grew up in an illegal daycare.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was a friend of the family, and she took in kids, and,
Wow.
But we knew her. At least we
A
knew
friend
her.
of the family.
Yeah, and she wasn't the type to get tattooed and go to a tanning salon. So that's it. Boner candidate number 1, tanning troubles at Little Giggles. Boner candidate number 2, all that and the darn skunk got away. You can probably see where this is going. In Ferndale, Michigan, authorities say a man destroyed his home while trying to use a smoke bomb to get rid of a skunk in the crawl space. There's more than one down there. The Detroit Free Press reports the man's attempt sparked a fire that quickly spread from the crawl space to the first floor. The fire eventually spread throughout the walls in the attic of the rental property. Ferndale Fire Chief Kevin...
Why aren't you saying that the right way? Ferndale. Why aren't you?
Ferndale.
No,
What? How do you... Well, it's a joke that's lost on me, Gina, and probably most of the audience. Would you like to footnote it, or shall we move on?
Okay.
Christ. Do your own show in your head.
I do, but it leaks out sometimes.
How? No, now I
Johnny
insist.
Carson. Johnny.
The Ferndale.
There you go.
Oh,
No.
that's a long ways.
No.
You can't tell me that's how you, when you read it, that's how you hear it in your head. No?
No, it's not.
No.
Now, the character was Art Fern. I don't know if he was from Ferndale.
All right. I forgot what this was about now.
I'm sorry. I'm really
Smoke
sorry.
bomb in
Guy
the
with
crawl
skunks,
space.
yeah.
Skunks.
Yeah.
The fire chief said, if you need pest control, please call professionals for the work.
Yes.
And we didn't find no skunk skeletons or nothing remains in the house, so they all got away anyway. All that and the skunk got away. Boner candidate number 2.
Skunks are cute. It's sad that they smell so bad.
Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. I just realized this is a similar story, but we're going to do it anyway. I should have split them up maybe, but sure, it's a reasonable response to a bitter divorce.
All right. Boner candidate number 3 for round 1. Coming up in just a moment. Don't forget that Punk will be here at 7:45 to give his review of the Radio from Hell Film Festival from last night.
He'll be here on the phone.
On the phone. Sean Means will be here in person at 8 o'clock to give his review of movies that are opening this weekend.
Sean would have nothing to do with the film festival.
And Dana DeLorenzo from Ash vs. Evil Dead is going to be here at 8:45.
I think she's. You know, I started watching that show, and I was just kind of iffy about that character and Pablo, and then I started warming up to him, and she grows
she's
on
great.
you. She's really good.
Great. But right now, Big Boy News and Opinioendo brought to you by.
It's the best season of the year, not summer, not pumpkin spice season, definitely not tax season. It's seafood season at Del Taco. Swing by and stock up on 2 beer-battered fish tacos. Only $4 at Del Taco. It's unfreshing, believable, limited time deal. Price and participation may vary.
All right, this is a story from Fayetteville. Well, excuse me, it's Fayetteville. So this is a serious story, and a story that I thought about making a boner candidate, but just a story that should be brought up. Alea Palmer was at a party, and this is in North Carolina, when a man pulled her into a bathroom to have sex, and she was willing. This is at a house party, I guess.
Okay.
She told Fayetteville police when the sex turned violent, she told the man, "Stop. I'm not willing anymore."
Okay.
He didn't. He kept going, and she said, "That to me is rape."
Sure.
But in North Carolina, it is not. She found out that under North Carolina law,
You
a
can't
woman
change your
is
mind?
not allowed to back out of sex once she has given permission and it's underway.
That's written down
Yep.
somewhere?
Yep.
And it's underway?
Yeah. Ms. Palmer
There's
is
some
19.
thorough legislation going on there.
She's 19. The Fayetteville Observer doesn't, this is from their paper here, does not ordinarily identify victims of sex crimes, but she said, yes, I want people to know who I am, and I want to talk about this. The North Carolina Supreme Court in 1979 in the State versus Way ruled that women cannot revoke consent after sexual intercourse begins.
Yeah, that needs to change.
Jeff Jackson, Democratic state senator who represents Mecklenburg County, is working to get the law changed. He said many other women have approached him privately about similar cases in which they withdrew consent for sex. Wait a minute. We've all been there. I mean, it's
I thought this was okay, but this is not okay now.
Somehow this is not the right time and the right place. I thought it was, but it isn't. Let's stop. So what does any civilized man do?
Stop.
He goes, okay. It's difficult, but you say, okay. So but in North Carolina, it's the law, and there are similar laws around the country.
It's ridiculous.
I don't believe it's here. Now, here's a story also could have been a boner candidate, and many people sent this one to me. One woman sent it via Twitter and said, "Bill, I don't understand this. Could you Bill-splain it to me?"
I'm just a girl. I don't understand
A
things.
BYU math club poster. And I think maybe, do we have it at x96.com/live? This poster is going viral online because the poster shows an all-male lineup, pictures of men across the top, in a speaking event that is targeted toward women. Thousands of people online have expressed concern over the poster, but the club is responding to the poster saying, we didn't mean it that way. It's the monthly Women in Math Club meeting at BYU, and they're saying, come to this math club meeting, and it's women in math. There it is.
For all women who love math.
Yeah. For all women who love math, survey of topics, and it gives the date, and it's the BYU Women in Math Club. But the pictures are of 4 guys at the top of the poster. Now,
no pictures of women at all.
No. Now, the woman who runs the club, the math club, has said, these are just 4 mathematicians that we have invited to come and speak to the club. We didn't, I see how it might have been, and they pulled all the posters out and put up different ones. But people have
I'm surprised nobody thought as they were creating that poster.
Got to have a woman on there somewhere.
Yeah, these are all men.
I mean, it's okay if you're going to have all men come and speak to the club, I guess, but you don't. Maybe a woman should be on there saying, "Hey, come to the Women in Math Club," and these are our speakers, and you have pictures of the guys. Just a thought. So Maisie Williams, you know who that is?
Yes.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. She plays Arya Stark, became one of the really central characters of the whole series.
She's going to go kill Cersei.
Maisie threw some shade at President Trump while discussing the final season of Game of Thrones on Tuesday's Jimmy Kimmel Live. Kimmel mentioned that HBO's president of programming, Casey Bloys, had ordered multiple endings of Game of Thrones to be filmed.
Mm-hmm.
So there's tight security around this last season and the last episodes. But even with the security, so the head of HBO says, let's film up 2 or 3 different endings.
Just in case.
So that the cast doesn't even know which one we're going to use. And I guess the creators of the TV show are creative enough to do that, and any one of these endings could work.
Oh, yeah.
So she plays Arya Stark, and Kimmel questioned, is it really the case that there are several different endings? And she said, well, as we know, sometimes presidents don't always tell the truth. Now, she's referring to the president of HBO, but she's also
throwing shade.
Obviously saying, well, as we know, Ms. Williams did not mention Trump by name, but it was clear who her comment was aimed at. It provoked applause from the audience. As for now, the 8th season of Game of Thrones, which is slated to air in 2019. What?
Yeah.
Gotta wait a whole year.
It takes that long to make them.
They're little movies. In fact, these, I think they've said, they're all going to be long.
Yeah.
Like longer than an hour. All
Yeah,
of them are they're little movies.
She was pretty tight-lipped about the whole thing, but she did say how she felt reading the last batch of scripts, and I don't have that here. She apparently she said something about it, but the story ends. This version of the story ends right there.
Let me look to see if I have some audio.
Let's see. Utah lawmakers have declared Orrin Hatch Day.
What?
Do we have to celebrate Orrin Hatch
Members
Day?
of the Utah legislature declared, well, we missed it. It was yesterday, Orrin G. Hatch Day. And then they urged everyone in Utah to honor Orrin Hatch by going out and buying supplements. Just go out and buy some, It's a joke some of you will get, like Carrie did.
Yeah.
This is the music that they played.
Orrin Hatch Day.
Yes.
Goodness.
Where's my straw boater?
That was a little too raucous for me. That rock and roll music, that's too much.
Let's see. Governor Herbert says, now, Governor Herbert has always been a staunch supporter of the death penalty. They're debating right now in the Utah legislature doing away with the death penalty in Utah. Life imprisonment without possibility of parole would be the harshest penalty. And they've presented studies which have shown that carrying out the death penalty is actually more expensive than keeping somebody in a jail cell for the rest of their life.
Because there's appeal.
Court costs and all of that. Governor Herbert says, I have been a strong supporter of the death penalty for the most egregious and heinous of crimes. But that being said, I think that the court system itself has made it so it's a little bit harder to defend the death penalty. It takes a long time. Justice delayed is justice denied. So if the legislature just sends me a bill that says we're doing away with the death penalty, I will sign it. So that's a signal to the legislature as well.
That they should go ahead with it? Yeah.
He says things like that, and governors and politicians say things like that, and just to let the legislature, maybe you should go ahead and do it, and then I'll sign it. Let's get together on it and do it.
Well, who will be the first to step up?
Well, there were a lot of people testifying about it who had loved ones who've been murdered. And they came to the legislature and wept and said we should keep the death penalty.
Oh,
my loved one was brutally murdered and killed, and that person doesn't deserve to live. And so there are emotional supporters.
But the argument is always, if they put one innocent person to death, is it worth it?
Yeah. And they had Orrin G. Hatch Day. Oh, we already talked about
Did we?
Are there some?
Oh, this is that rap music, and I just can't. These rapists
makes my suspenders tingle. And one final story. This is interesting. There's a picture of David Cross here. He's really letting himself go, isn't he?
When did he? When was he together?
Well, Gina, he used to be very thin and clean shaven. And now he's bearded and very heavy.
Well, he's fat and happy and married.
But
as a kid, too. Something that we didn't think would happen.
this is interesting. Now, you know, Jeffrey Tambor, who was in Arrested Development, they're at x96.com/live, a picture of both of them. They were actors together in Arrested Development. Jeffrey Tambor was on that show Transparent. He was the lead character, man transitioning into a woman, and he was accused of some sort of improprieties, and nobody was ever really specific about it, I don't think. But he's not on the show anymore. Now, I don't know how they're going to finish out the last season. I watched the first season. Then
he was the Transparent
but
of
he is the central character. Anyway, Jeffrey Tambor, David Cross says, I can't speak for everybody, but I know there is a number of us who stand behind Jeffrey Tambor. From the limited amount we know, we stand with Jeffrey. I'm one of them, he said. He says, I think it's curious that Amazon made the decision to get rid of Jeffrey Tambor. Amazon didn't make public the results of their internal investigations. I'm not sure why they would do that. I just know the whole thing is rather curious to me. And he says, you know, I know Jeffrey, and he's a lovely guy. And I find it hard to believe that he did anything like this, so I stand behind Jeffrey Tambor. Not that it's going to do any good, but he's supporting it.
That says that he is in the new season of Arrested Development, and
is he?
That's what this is.
Does it go on?
Yeah, they're
talking
about it. It says yes, he's going to be in the new season of Arrested Development. We finished filming.
So Netflix has said, fine, Jeffrey.
We're going forward.
Jeffrey can do that. We're fine with it. All right. Well, I didn't know they were doing another season of Arrested Development. I didn't care for the
they're not going to do it.
Reboot.
It was too complicated.
They're not going to do it that way. They said we're going back to the old way we do the episodes.
And you know, in Transparent's another show. I think they were moving on to like their 4th season. I watched the first season and I thought it was pretty good, but then the second season it was just all more of the same, and yeah, I stopped watching it.
Weather, traffic.
I still haven't seen that accident that somebody said that was 7th East to 1st South. That hasn't popped up on UDOT yet, and actually nothing has. It seems to be smooth sailing as far as UDOT's concerned. So be a traffic tipster. Send us something if you see it, 33986.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. It's a little similar to number 2, but anyway. Sure, that's a reasonable response to a bitter divorce. A Georgia woman who had recently lost her home to her ex-husband in a bitter divorce battle decided that if she couldn't live there, then nobody was going to live there. According to Fox News, Adrienne Satterley stacked up some mattresses in her living room and set them on fire.
Take that.
The fire quickly spread out of control, burning down her house.
Wasn't her house.
And spreading to 19 other houses. Geez. 20 houses burned down by Ms. Satterley's actions. She set the fire, left the house with her 2 cats. Thank God for that. Authorities say she walked for over an hour to a local Walmart and called 911 to report the fire. Her home was one of the 4 houses that were completely destroyed. 16 others suffered bad damage. Luckily, only 1 person was injured in the fire. Sure, that's a reasonable response to a bitter divorce. Boner candidate number 3.
All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, tanning troubles at Little Giggles. There's a daycare owner accused of, in her illegal daycare center called Little Giggles, she had 6 kids in her care. She drugged all of them and left them there so she could go to the tanning salon. God. Boner candidate number 2, all that and the damn skunk got away. It's a guy who burned down his home trying to get rid of skunks in the crawl space. And boner candidate number 3, sure, that's a reasonable response to a bitter divorce.
All right, you got to decide which one of these 3 is the worst. Of these 3, which one deserves to go to Boner Fight and get a 50-50 chance at being Boner of the Day? It'll go up against the winner of round 2. That happens at 8:20. And Boner Fight at 9:20. So, 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number. Put it in the message of a text. And and text that to 33986. Go to your phone, 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. Or go to x96.com, look for the box that says Boner Voting February 22, and vote there. You've only got 4 minutes to do it, though, so let's go. This is round one.
More music.
Great company. We provide them service all the time.
You know, producing a morning show, our hosts get up at 3 in the morning. They start gathering stories, and I got to print them out. I got to get them. Not having the ability to print something made it virtually impossible to do my job.
My question is, and this is for you parents, is I didn't know that they still did these.
Oh, yeah.
The daddy-daughter
Mhm.
dance,
Mhm.
and there's a mommy-son
Mhm.
dance.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know they still did these.
Yeah. Sure.
These seem
No, they're sweet.
creepy.
No, they're sweet. They're really
No,
I
it's
don't know.
just-
You're not watching Bates Motel with me.
That's your problem. You're skewed. You're skewed with the Bates family.
Well, they're I mean, they're
Because
just
Carrie,
meant to
that's all
be-
that is
Tell me
a dance.
Well, tell me what they.
They're-
What,
I mean,
what is it?
It's
Tell
just
me.
meant to be. It's meant to be an evening where father and daughter, who may not necessarily interact all the time, because the dad's at work and it's the mom who takes care of things, and you know, so it's just so they just go to the dance, and there's punch and cookies.
It's cute.
and-
You get dressed up, and it's a nice.
Why do you think it's
evening out.
creepy?
You don't think it sends a weird message?
No.
No.
Because you do the exact same activity with a boy. You know, the boy you're dating. It's the exact same activity, the prom, right?
Well, except it's
or the
except
harvest
there's a,
dance.
Except
or
there's a
whatever.
different intent.
And this is no different than
No, there's a different intent. If you're taking a girl to the prom, you'll want to after the prom get with her in the back seat of the car,
Oh.
and in the daddy-daughter dance, that never would even occur to you.
Well,
I mean, really.
No, Carrie. Okay, do you think this is cute?
All right.
When dads that have little girls and the little girl wants to have a little tea party, and she invites daddy to the tea party, and they sit.
That's. I'm not
Well,
getting laid
kids-
at the end of a tea party.
Kids shouldn't be.
Well, it doesn't have to go there. It's
Well,
just
then-
nice.
but that's what the dance is all
see,
about.
That's what's in Carrie's mind.
See, anytime I went to a high school dance, my goal at the end was to at least
Okay.
make out.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, Carrie, I went to lots of dances where that never happened.
Gina, that's
Well,
that's
that's
you.
a bad example.
Gina, that's you. You're a bad
I
example.
just went to dances where it was just about the dance and
no,
went out to dinner, and that was
no,
the end of
no,
it.
Gina, the guy you were with, that was not what it was all
Not
about.
all guys think
Yes.
that way. Any
Yes,
dance
they do.
ever. That's
Ye-
the
yes.
purpose of
Yes.
going to a dance.
Yes.
No.
Okay, you see my point about the daddy-daughter.
No, because daddy's it's a daddy. It's not. It's the kid's
See,
dad, not
okay,
a
well,
date.
The real reason we should stop doing the daddy-daughter and the mommy-son
Yeah.
is because this is the age of Disney. At least one of the parents are dead or divorced or something.
Jackson, Bill Allred, Gina Barberi, Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, 7:45. Time to award round 1 of your boner voting.
And round 1 of the boner voting is brought to you in part by some deep fried stuff.
I watched you eat it last night.
A little bit.
You made it to Thursday. Come down to Gracie's and join us for good beer and good times. Like Gracie's on Facebook for updates and more. Adults only.
So boner candidate number 1 was Tannin Troubles at Little Giggles. The woman who who had 5 children in her care, daycare called Little Giggles, an unlicensed daycare facility. She drugged them and left them there to go to the tanning salon. Boner, excuse me. Boner candidate number 2, all that and the skunk got away. I got there's skunks down there in the crawl space. So we put a smoke bomb in there, and it ended up catching the house on fire. And boner candidate number 3, sure, that's a reasonable response to a bitter divorce. A woman getting divorced from a bitter divorce. Well, she got the cats, but she apparently lost the house. But she stacked up a bunch of mattresses in the house, lit them on fire, and then walked away and kept walking for about an hour before she called 911. Not only did it burn down that house, it burned down or partially destroyed 19 other houses in the neighborhood. The winner of the boner T-shirt was Spencer.
No, it was a Gracie's gift card.
It says here a boner T-shirt. So sometimes we don't get those things straight on my information. It's a Gracie's gift card, and the winner of the boner voting, number 3.
Really?
Sure, that's a reasonable response to a bitter divorce.
I thought number 1 would walk away with it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Lost by 10 votes.
We don't pick them.
Nope.
You do, and you have picked that one to be the winner of round 1. That will now go forward to Boner Dome for Boner Fight. It's got a 50-50 chance of becoming Boner of the Day. It'll go up against the winner of round 2. That happens at 8:20. And then we throw them both in for Boner Fight at 9:20. All right.
So we had our film festival last night.
Yes,
the Radio
we
from
did.
Hell film. Yeah.
I kind of
You
missed
were,
it.
no, you didn't. You were
Was
there.
I there?
Oh yeah. You were having a good time.
Was I?
Yeah.
All right. Good for me.
And we all had a good time, actually. And it's one of those events that's great to see lots of friends of the program and the work they did making films.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we don't judge the films.
Yeah, I made that abundantly clear to everyone.
So
I went around the room before it started and said, listen, I've not seen them. I'm not judging them.
So Richie rounds up film judges, and one of them is our old friend Punk.
Punk!
Hey, hello?
Hi.
Am I on?
Yes, you are, Punk. Punk, nice to hear your voice. How are you feeling today?
Got a few of my McRibs knocked out of place.
Ooh. Jeez. That'll happen.
Yeah, I just put some more sauce on them and put them back in place.
Okay, good. So, Punk, you saw all of the films, right?
Yes, I did.
You want to talk?
Classic.
You want to talk about them in general? Maybe single a couple out that you liked.
Well, sure. There was a fair amount. What was there? 39, 40 of them.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people find out or don't understand that vision's one thing, executing that vision's another thing.
That's true.
Good idea, but
yeah, and then there were some standouts. I had picked Scroat because that made me laugh so hard I popped my ribs out.
Oh, there you go.
Scroat fresh.
Yes.
Scroat fresh. Yeah, but there were a lot of good ones in here. The one that won, I guess we can say it, Sisyphus.
Yeah.
Was there was a lot of staging and activity and everything in that, and a lot of acting that was not, people trying not to laugh while they're acting or just kind of
yeah.
Well, the girl won Best Actress.
Yeah, it was very serious. It was a sort of a sci-fi,
time travel kind of,
a modern day mythological thriller.
Yeah, and they
That's what it is.
They crammed a lot of story into that.
And there were horses.
Well, that's what Gina noticed.
Right.
Now, can we see these now, Richie? Are they online?
X96.com.
All right.
All of the films that were in the film festival are posted there.
Okay.
I wasn't able to pull them up this morning, so I don't know. So.
Okay.
Well, we'll get that information. So, any other standouts for you, or any other observations?
Well, let's see. I forgot my notepad, so I have no more to say. No, I mean the Adam driver, the driver, Uber driver, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
that one was pretty good.
Yeah, that was the last one of the night, and he won Best Actor.
Yeah, I mean that was to either ad lib or throw out as many Adam things as he did was pretty dang amazing.
It was funny too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny.
And then our good friend Eric Bradbury,
again, I think made the best one.
See, he's done a film every year.
Yes.
That we've done this, and his was the. Do you know Eric?
His was
I don't know if I do or not. I know lots of Eric.
His was the animated one that was the voice of his mother telling a story.
Cutting the heads off the chickens.
About cutting the heads off of chickens and family members that had cancer, and it was a nice, touching film, and I thought it was the best of the night myself. But
see, I liked that one, and I also liked the other animated one called The Gun Show, which was a radio show with bears in it.
That was pretty fun.
Talking about guns.
I love that because they're talking about a knife, and he called it donut retrieval.
What are you calling into a gun show for? We can't talk about knives.
And the one with Eric's mom, that one was it was pretty good. I picked her as the runner-up for Best Actress. The stories were awesome, and so was I don't know if you noticed all of the. Basically, everything was turned into a pop. Those little Funko bobblehead pops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the style.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting. I liked that.
But we have a lot of filthy-minded friends of the program.
Well,
there were a lot of
depends on how you look at it. I don't know the one selling the can I say it?
No, don't. That's what I'm saying. There were a lot of filthy ones. If you go to watch them, and Richie, I don't see where they are on x96.com, so help me out.
But I also like the guy. I really like the actor who did the It was done like an infomercial to stop your kids from eating Tide Pods.
Tide Pods.
Yeah.
Tide Pods were a
restaurant.
reoccurring theme.
Yeah, there were a bunch of
Tide Pods. Yeah.
I guess if you go to X96 YouTube channel, they're there. But I'm hoping we have them posted on the website somewhere easy to find.
That would, of course, make sense, and that's why we don't.
Or at least a link.
Yeah, that would make sense, and so of course not.
Do you have one of your traditional punk reviews, like
you have like a junk food update?
Yeah,
or is that with your notebook that you can't find?
I got the other notebook. I'm missing the smaller notebook.
Okay, all right.
Well, give us your review.
What is your junk food update that you would have with the Radio from Hell Film Festival?
Well, we got Sisyphus. That's right. It's a modern-day mythological thriller. If you don't know who Sisyphus is, look it up.
Okay.
And it's by Red Tech Films. I'm not... I wasn't able to pull it back up and get some of the names off of it, but the young lady... Ada Poulter,
okay,
was very good, very fluid. Wasn't stone-faced kind of movie acting. She was very good.
She seemed younger in person than she was.
Really?
We met her. Of course, she was there, and she seemed a lot younger than she seemed in the movie.
Well, anyway, she's in a post-apocalyptic future where all seems lost, except the element and a minimal matter transfer in the form of a young lady who steps into the box and something happens and the box keeps spinning around and the box keeps getting shot and the box keeps opening, getting shot. There's your Sisyphus if you don't understand the myth.
I don't get it. I didn't get it.
You gotta be smart.
I didn't get it. What, do I have to do
Nothing
some
like-
reading to enjoy this movie?
So does it ever stop? No. It never stops.
Nothing like watching yourself get shot over and over and over.
Yeah. What junk food would you have with all of this, Punk?
Well, I'd have a few self-heating MREs, cheese tortellinis to pick, a micro mini single-serve ravioli, chocolate ammo.
Yeah. There is such a thing.
Yes.
Yep. Rock candy. It even comes in a bullet case. Yeah. A few Tiger's Blood snow cones, some canned H2O, or whatever makes you see the future.
That'd be mescaline.
All right, Punk.
I'm going to give it 3.5 Prozacs with some Uprosin, Nystop, and Selenor when you care enough to send the very best. For going full camo. The more horses, the merrier. Life in a northern town. Wait, wasn't that Russian? The old glory tent. And yes, get to the bunker.
Get to the bunker. Thank you, Punk.
Love you, Punk.
Thank you.
All right, settle down. Don't move.
Yay.
Don't move.
I'm trying not to.
You're fine. All right. I'm going to put you on hold.
Quick check of traffic, why
Yes.
don't we? Crash on eastbound 21st South 3rd West. All eastbound lanes are blocked and cars are using the right turn lane to weave around. Also, the left lane heading westbound is blocked. Crash westbound 33rd South just after the I-15 ramps. The left lane is blocked and everyone is using 2 right lanes there. Traffic lights malfunctioning 134 South, 5200 West. Eastbound traffic is delayed for several blocks there. That's traffic brought to you by looking for a great deal on a used smartphone, but you don't want to meet a creepy guy in a parking lot. Bad Apple repairs, buys, sells, and trades smartphones. Unlike the guy in the parking lot, Bad Apple guarantees them. 10 locations. Go to badapplerepair.com.
All right, so we got Sean Means reviewing movies in theaters coming up, including Game Night. Stand by for that.
You know, if you were out driving around in the snow last couple of days, some of you have. I saw a bumper just sitting on the side of the road yesterday, just on the corner. Somebody's bumper got torn off. And so I would suggest that we move on.
Carrie, you were almost teapotting yourself there.
All right, I was wondering when you were gonna go.
When I was gonna catch myself. Yeah,
That's all right.
All right.
I would suggest we just move on.
Coming up, Sean reviewing
Nothing
movies.
to see here.
Also, round 2, your boner voting. Dana DeLorenzo from Ash vs. Evil Dead. Jim Norton will be calling in at 9 o'clock. Stand by for all of that.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
That's how desperate I am.
At 10 a.m., right after Radio from Hell.
We're desperate.
At 1 p.m., while you're listening in the workplace.
Just so completely wrong.
And at 4:30 for your drive home.
Just kill me now.
1-hour non-stop music wingdings 3 times a day.
I think I've actually gotten stupider just standing here listening to you describe it.
Let's see, 803. Is this sponsored? Gina?
Yes, we're talking movies with Sean Means, and it's brought to you by this month. Check out Jim Henson's Labyrinth Coronation before Sarah braved the labyrinth. Jareth the Goblin King rose to power. Witness the exciting origin of the character, immortalized by David Bowie in Jim Henson's Labyrinth Coronation, and I believe that's the Dr. Volts. It doesn't say here.
It doesn't say
but
what the
my
sponsor.
guess is it's
Yes,
Dr.
it's
Volts.
Dr. Volt's Comic Connection, because why
doesn't?
Good Lord.
What is happening in this building?
I don't know. All right. Sean Means is here. He's the film critic for the Salt Lake Tribune. You can read Sean's reviews and other items that he pens online at sltrib.com, and you can read reviews in the paper on Friday when it hits your porch or when you buy it on the newsstand, if there is a newsstand anywhere anymore. Hi, Sean.
They're in 7-Elevens and stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
things
where
like
you
that.
get them. Yeah. Hi, Sean.
Howdy.
What do we got?
We got no artsies.
There are
That's what we
no
got.
artsies.
There are no artsies.
Well, I guess you got to go out and see your Academy Awarded nominated stuff anyway.
Yep,
so.
you got all your Oscar stuff is floating out there for you.
Yep.
We will, in the fartsies. There's one they didn't show us.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you did get to see?
I did see Annihilation. That's
Okay.
why I missed the Radio from Hell Film Festival.
Oh, good. That's fine. So Every Day was not screened.
Every Day, yes. This is a YA romance novel turned into a movie about a young woman who meets a guy and they have the perfect first day together and everything's wonderful and great and they fall in love. And then the next day, a complete stranger walks up to her and says, "Yeah, I was that guy from yesterday."
What?
And they're like, "No, you're not." Is it? Yeah, let me explain. And her spirit, migrates from person to person every day.
Okay,
so
whatever.
So he's a different body.
So
every
he's a
day.
different body every day.
She's a different body every day.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, that's the romantic complication there. I wonder how they work it out.
Yes.
Maybe he has a penny in his pocket.
It's a different movie.
What about this poor person's body? Is that addressed?
Yeah. Yes, actually.
Oh, good.
Apparently, because this it's somebody for it. You know, it's somebody not being themselves for a day.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's an issue.
You seem pretty interested in this
Well,
movie.
I'm concerned.
The trailer has to do a lot in 2 minutes to explain all this. That's what I do know.
Okay.
So,
all right.
But there you go.
There
Every
you go.
day, not screened
Not
for
screened.
critics. You'll
Nope.
go if you're going to go.
Maria Bello is in it. I like her.
And Guri Rice is the woman, the young woman in question.
Well-
she's apparently a thing.
Okay, we go from worst to first. So what do
We
you
will
want to do?
Game night.
Game night is next.
Game night is
Okay.
next. Yes. This is, it's good to every so often have a comedy that isn't trying to change the world.
Oh,
Just-
good.
just have it-
It's
just have
dumb fun, yay!
not even dumb fun. Sometimes smart fun, but it's not. It's not. It's not going to win Oscars. It's not going to get that kind of attention. But you have here a couple, Max and Annie, played by Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams.
Okay.
And it's been a while since we've gotten to see Rachel McAdams do some full bore comedy.
Yeah,
you know,
because she can.
like Mean Girls, I think probably
Mhm.
is one. They are very competitive game playing people. Matter of fact, they meet at a pub quiz. And fall in love and everything in their life is great opening montage. Everything in their courtship is game related. Like the proposal is done in charades and the Dance Dance Revolution is at their wedding reception.
Oh, funny. Okay.
So on.
And there are couples like that.
Yes, and so they get together with their friends once a week and do a game night, and we discovered that this is partly because Max, the Jason Bateman character, is exceedingly competitive, and this goes back to his childhood and his older brother. And so when his older brother, played by Kyle Chandler, shows up,
I like Kyle Chandler.
Kyle Chandler is very funny and very cool in this movie.
It's weird. He can be so good and dramatic, and then he does comedy turns, and it just flips his image over.
Yep. So the brother comes in and says, "Okay, we're going to kick game night up a notch," and set up one of these sort of murder mystery things where they hire actors to come in and so on.
Okay.
Well, the actors come in and start doing their thing, and then somebody else comes in and beats up the actors, and takes Kyle Chandler off. And everybody thinks, "Wow, that was really good. That was
very believable.
That was really believable and compelling." But as it goes, they realize maybe this isn't a game anymore.
Is this movie kind of too predictable, or is it okay that it's predictable?
It's predictable in parts, but then there's other parts. There's actually some parts that do come out of left field and,
Good
and shock
twists.
you. Some good twists.
Oh, good.
Good supporting cast. Billy Magnuson and Sharon Horgan from Catastrophe, the Rob Delaney series, is in this. It's pretty funny and pretty smart. And Jesse Plemons, who's he plays the neighbor who used to come to game night, and he's like a cop, and he's a little too serious. And he's a great character.
Jesse Plemons is kind of astonishing.
Yeah,
he has just this bland Midwestern look.
He looks like a slightly sinister Matt Damon.
Yes,
but he's different in every movie. He's really deceiving.
Yes.
So
works perfectly in this film.
3 stars.
3 stars for game night.
All right. So that means that
Annihilation,
which we were concerned about because it had some production problems.
It doesn't have production problems. The production is fine.
Well, I mean,
it's the studio. It's the studio freaking out afterwards because
we don't understand this.
We don't get it. We can't market this.
It's too smart or something.
It's too smart for our audiences.
Yeah.
So we're going to sell off the international rights to Netflix.
Yeah. Well, what is it?
This is it's written and directed by Alex Garland, who did Ex Machina. If you remember the Alicia Vikander robot movie from a couple years ago. You have a biologist played by Natalie Portman, who is
always a biologist,
always something like that. And she's widowed. Her husband, military man, has been gone, presumed dead, for a year, until he suddenly shows up again. But things are weird, and they get weirder when like black SUVs and helicopters show up and take them all away to some secret place.
Yeah, that's never a good sign.
That's never a good sign. So turns out there is this mysterious thing happening somewhere in the southeast that a meteor hit, and now whatever landed with it is spreading across the countryside. And so far, the military's been able to keep it on the down low, but it's getting bigger and bigger, and every time they send a unit of soldiers in, nobody comes back.
Well, this sounds cool.
Sounds exciting.
And so we send in. So this time we have a psychologist played by Jennifer Jason Leigh, who is going to lead a team of scientists, all women, instead of those big hunky soldier guys who just shoot things, in to see if they can discover what the issue is.
I am intrigued by this.
This is. Here's the thing. I don't make this comparison lightly. But when your movie has an ending that is that is reminiscent of 2001, first off, you can understand why they had trouble marketing it.
Yeah.
But also, the ambition and the chutzpah to try to pull off a movie like that is amazing. And even if it doesn't entirely work, this movie is very ambitious, very smart. It's dealing with some like majorly intelligent ideas.
Yeah.
And has this great cast because I mean Jennifer Jason Leigh, Tessa Thompson, Gina Rodriguez, and of course Oscar Isaac.
Now, if I understand correctly, the director did retain final cut.
Yes, he did.
And so we are seeing the movie that he wanted us to see.
We are seeing the movie he wants.
Okay.
If you can find a theater playing it, because it's not going to play in every theater. And if you're not in the United States, Canada, or China, you got to watch it on Netflix because they have basically the studio has basically written this off.
They don't have any faith in it.
They have no faith in it. That apparently it tested poorly, which
to them,
because it wasn't dumb enough for dumb people to get.
Well, they just what was that movie recently where the two spaceships land and they go try
Arrival.
Arrival.
Yeah. Similar.
You could find some comparisons here.
Just that it's a smart movie
in terms of it. The thing about Arrival is a little bit more successful in its storytelling, but. The thing about Arrival was it was a movie that sort of taught you how to watch it as it was as it went through.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that movie a lot.
I did too. This one is very fascinating. The ending is trippy, and people who care about movies will be arguing about for a long time.
Oh, so what do you give it?
3.5.
3.5.
Really?
For Annihilation.
Yep.
It's unfortunate that the studio doesn't have any faith in it.
It's
all right.
Always unfortunate when
well,
that
they
happens.
don't have, come on. The studio has never had any faith in us. Really? the same thing.
All right.
It's the suits.
Let's run these down. Every Day Not Screened, Annihilation 3.5, and 3 stars for Game Night.
So good.
A couple of good ones out there.
Yep.
If you're not seeing Black Panther again, that is.
Yeah, and you should.
Yeah.
Go see that a dozen times.
I realize that there's a bunch of stuff I need to, because I'm reading about it now, and
You want to go back?
I need to go back
with
and
your
see
new
that.
knowledge.
Yeah,
Seeing it the second time was actually really cool because things revealed themselves in ways that you didn't really understand the first time.
What do we got next week?
Next week we have Red Sparrow. Jennifer Lawrence as the sexy Russian spy.
I'm just going to pretend it's a Black Widow movie.
Or Boris and Natasha or something.
I'm going to guess this movie is not going to be very good.
The review is already online.
Oh, is it?
If you care to,
If you would
care to
care
read it on SL
There's a
Trib,
tease
on sltrib.com.
All right.
Also next week, the remake of Death Wish.
Oh boy.
With Bruce Willis and Wayne LaPierre's Wet Dream.
You ain't got death. If you ain't got Charles Bronson, you ain't got Death Wish.
Well, it's been 45 years, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah, dig him up.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sean.
They had to dig him up for the first series.
That's right.
7th East is closed heading south at First South. It's due to a motorcycle crash. The left turn lane from northbound 7th South to go west on First South is also closed. Crash on eastbound 21st South 3rd West. All eastbound lanes are blocked. Cars are using the right turn lane to weave around that. Crash westbound 33rd South just after the I-15 ramps. The left lane is blocked there. That's traffic.
All right. Thank
Why
you.
why is it that I would know Charles Bronson's real name?
Buczynski?
Charles Buczynski. Why do I
know
know
it
that?
too.
Why?
I don't.
That's dumb.
It's actually in the credits of House of Wax and some of his.
Yeah,
early
he was in
movies.
the House of Wax with Vincent Price.
Boners round 2.
Oh yes, boners with boners round 2. Here are your titles. Boner candidate number 1. All right. Boner candidate number 2. I just know they're Democrats. And boner candidate number 3. I got bad service, so I'm taking back tips.
All right. Round 2 of your boner voting, big boy news and opinioendo, all coming up. Stand by for that. About 3 minutes is all you got.
Radio from Hell on X96.
fight on the way.
Do we have enough time for all this stuff?
We don't even need to be on the show.
No, we could just set it and forget it. All right. But it is time for round 2 of your boner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst and therefore most qualified to go into Boner Dome for Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. Go up against the winner of round 1. Boner Fight happens at 9:20. So 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you will vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive
a Boner t-shirt. Can't buy it. Gotta win it. Okay. From Excel Automotive Repair. Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car check over before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
All right, here's boner candidate number 1. All right. A suspected car thief in Pennsylvania tried to pass himself off as Matthew McConaughey when Pennsylvania police found him Sunday. Officers got a call about a suspicious person prowling outside of a home in Georges Township and ringing the doorbell, police said. When they got there, they had allegedly found, well, they did find, they didn't allegedly find him. God, people write so. They found 46-year-old Troy Miller sitting in the homeowner's car. When asked for identification, Mr. Miller would only tell the officers that he was 48-year-old Oscar winner and star of the Dallas Buyers Club, Matthew McConaughey. Despite a rough resemblance.
No, not even anywhere. No.
Not even.
Gina,
No.
oh, come on, you guys.
Nope.
That's how Matthew McConaughey will look in about 5
Nope.
years. Officers were not fooled, even though he kept going, all right. Police arrested Mr. Miller on charges of attempted theft, false identification. They should have arrested him also or booked him for impersonating a celebrity. Boner candidate number 1. All right. Is boner candidate number 2. Why, just know they're Democrats. A Republican congresswoman from upstate New York said yesterday that many people who commit mass murder turn out to be Democrats.
Oh.
What?
U.S. Representative Claudia Tenney made the remarks on Talk Radio 1300 during a discussion about calls for stricter gun control since the deadly shooting in Florida. Quote, yeah, well, obviously, there is a lot of politics in it, and it is interesting that so many of these people that commit the mass murders end up being Democrats. But the media doesn't talk about that either.
Well,
Tenney told talk show host Fred Dicker. Ms. Tenney did not offer any evidence to support her statement.
Of course not.
Because
when I saw this story earlier, I'm like, okay, I'll bite. I'm reading through.
Yeah,
There's no.
She's got nothing. All she has to do is say it and put it out there.
I just know they're Democrats.
Look at them.
She said to Fred Dicker. Boner candidate number 2.
And okay, let's say there are. I don't want Democrats having access to assault weapons either.
Hold on there, Gina. Gina, hold on. As a card-carrying member of the Democrat Party, I think that that Democrats should have the right to commit mass murder, just like Republicans. What a bunch of asshats.
All right.
Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. I got bad service, so I'm just taking the tip back.
All right, boner candidate number 3 for round 2. Coming up after this here, Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by.
Stop buying disposable office printers off the shelf that big box store has. Get the highest quality commercial-grade printers from Valley Office Systems for a whole lot less than you'd expect. ValleyOfficeSystems.com.
I don't know who this guy is, but I got this on another radio station's website. A local musician has been charged with multiple felonies, accusing him of forcing a woman to perform sex acts. James Matthew Cheshire of Murray was charged Wednesday in 2nd District Court with counts of forcible sodomy and so forth and so on. He met his alleged victim. I want the word alleged to be removed from almost everything.
No, you have to legally.
But no, she is a victim.
Yes.
Now, it is alleged that he committed the crime. She's not an alleged victim.
Ah, I see what you're doing there. Okay.
That really, it's just they put it in there without really thinking how it should be used. Am I correct on that, Gina? You're a good check on that kind of thing.
I mean, you could say the victim alleges.
Yes.
She's not an alleged.
Yes,
The victim alleges.
or the victim of the alleged crime.
Yeah.
Or you could just read the sentence without the word alleged in it, and then at the end of it say allegedly.
Yeah. Let's see. So let's try this. Cheshire met his victim on an LDS dating app called Mutual, and on January 22, he exchanged several text messages with the woman, according to charging documents. And apparently, Richie knows this guy.
He's my dad's next door neighbor. And I didn't know about this until
just now.
He's a musician.
I guess they've moved. Yeah.
In what way is he a musician?
He plays the guitar and sings sort of like
singer-songwriter.
Yeah, singer-songwriter, like a restaurant or a bar, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So.
So does this surprise you about your dad's neighbor?
Yes, absolutely.
He goes by the name Jimmy Chesh.
Mm-hmm.
He is a singer-songwriter who's released an EP. He said, so he's kind of owning up to it, too. A woman got Cheshire to stop. The victim lied to him and told him that her children were awake upstairs. The victim went upstairs. The alleged victim doesn't say it here, see. The victim went upstairs where she made a noise to make it sound as if she was checking on the kids. When the woman returned, police say Mr. Cheshire continued to sexually assault her. After the
no, you skipped this. I think you like to be forced.
I think you like to be forced, Cheshire said. After the incident, the allegedly said. See, you could put it there.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
After the incident, the defendant told the victim, "Please tell me that it wasn't one-sided. I think that was one-sided." The victim did not reply. The defendant told the victim that the incident was going to ruin him professionally. He said afterwards he felt like a predator and felt remorse.
Okay, well.
Well, it's good for you.
That's a start.
Yeah.
So what is this app? What is
Allegedly.
Mutual. Is
it like Mormon Tinder? What is this?
Yes. 100% yes.
Really?
That's exactly what
so
it
you
is,
want a
huh?
Mormon hookup.
Yeah,
but you're not supposed to.
No, but you can Mormon hook up.
You can,
You can
do a little Levi loving.
Grandparents called it sparking. I prefer sparking over Levi loving. But
You're the one who introduced me to that term.
I had no idea this existed.
It just seems
it's not for you.
It just, I don't know.
To me, it's not for anybody.
Again, it's y'all's club. It's y'all's rules.
The one thing
You do
about
what you
Mutual,
want.
if you have never seen the commercials that they have online for Mutual, they are very, and this is even to your appreciation level, Carrie, it is very well written and very well filmed. The internet commercials that they have for Mutual, really.
Here, I'm gonna go look.
It just seems.
Don't
but that's unfortunate to hear about that. I've known him honestly. I've known that guy since he was probably 6 or 7 years old, and that just surprises me to hear that.
The Knights of the Crystal Blade. This is the one of the two men accused of starting their own fundamentalist Mormon offshoot, Knights of the Crystal Blade, and then marrying each other's daughters. On Wednesday, agreed to serve at least 25 years in prison. So both of them, I guess, they were apprehended fairly recently. This is all resolving itself quickly because they both pleaded guilty or pled guilty, and now they've agreed to a sentence. Samuel Schaefer pleaded guilty to rape of a child and child abuse. He carries 25 years to life in prison, and he said, okay. I think that's fascinating that justice can move quickly if the people who are accused of a
motivated?
crime say, we did it, let's just get on with it. I think that's fascinating. Let's see. Residents of North Ogden are upset. 3 couples are suing North Ogden City over the construction of a multi-million-dollar commercial performing arts complex at a park across the street from their homes, arguing that the venue breaches the original landowner's term of sale. And I don't blame these people.
You think you live across the street from a park? That's one thing.
And now we're building a big amphitheater there that's going to have music and when Ray and Fern Barker.
Why do you use a Southern accent?
Her name is Fern.
Somebody accused that accent of being Southern.
It's Fern.
Earlier when you did it.
I don't know what it is.
It's
just
anything.
a silly guy.
It's anything
Yeah.
but Southern.
Yeah.
I think this person was being overly sensitive.
Ferndale. It's just a silly guy. Anyway, they sold their property to North Ogden. Oh, so here's the deal.
Okay.
They sold this property to North Ogden in 2000, and city officials agreed to the stipulation that the land must be a public park.
Oh,
okay.
Specifically, a traditional type city park that's open to the public, according to court documents filed Tuesday. The couples who are suing, Aaron and Kim Christensen, Sean and Stephanie Casey, and Steve and Corey Beverly, argue that the amphitheater would dramatically change and fundamentally alter the nature and character of the park because fences around the amphitheater effectively make the land private. They also said the proposed 79,300 square foot complex would cause light and sound pollution and bring too many people and cars into the subdivision. So the couple who sold the land to the city said there is a stipulation. This has to be a park. Well, the city's now arguing, well, it's a park. It's a park. I think the city's going to lose.
I hope so.
I don't know.
And because it's there.
I think money always wins out, and they'll make money on this.
I don't know. It's going to be. It'll be fascinating to see how that goes. Let's see. Anything else? Are we done? We got more time here.
You got plenty of time.
Because I can tell you this story. We were speaking about Jennifer Lawrence. I guess it was off the air with Sean Means.
Mm-hmm.
She has rejected as utterly ridiculous criticism of a photo promoting her new movie that shows her outdoors in a revealing dress alongside male actors in coats.
Oh, okay.
So all the men are wearing. It's cold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that's the dress she was wearing.
Yeah, but we want to see the picture of her with the men.
At x96.com/live.
Yes.
That dress, if you're out in the cold, is not going to provide you much protection.
But was it her choice to wear that dress?
Well, I am extremely offended, the actress wrote on Facebook, that Versace dress was fabulous. You think I'm going to cover that up with a coat? So it was her choice.
If she doesn't have a problem with it,
yeah. I saw the complaints about the pictures, and I'm like, no one is making her wear that.
Yeah.
I don't think you make Jennifer Lawrence do anything.
Yeah.
Well, people are criticizing her for not being a feminist because of this.
Oh, again, how is that not being a feminist?
Yeah, she said, I wore the dress outside for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Being a feminist is choosing to do what you want to do. And if she's choosing to wear that, that's...
I don't really. I guess this is for Red Sparrow, the movie.
Yeah, they're promoting it.
I don't really recognize any of those actors except for Jeremy Irons. There, isn't that him on the end?
I believe
because he looks like a cigarette that's been stubbed out in an ashtray.
That's exactly what he looks like.
That's Jeremy Irons.
This is not a thing.
Yeah, I saw the complaints about the picture, and I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Yeah. But maybe it's just a lot of brouhaha so that people will talk about.
Maybe we're falling for it.
The movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the tabloids are having a field day with the Jennifer Aniston, Justin Theroux split up.
Poor Jennifer can't find love.
Tabloid magazines were breathless with excitement to impart their latest wisdom on Wednesday regarding Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux. And none were more creative than Us Weekly, who dreamed up a scene straight out of a daytime soap opera. In its script for the demise of the golden couple, the magazine claimed Theroux had stumbled upon old Post-it notes that Brad Pitt had written, saying, "Miss you already, you look nice tonight," and they had a huge impact on Justin. Justin Theroux, when informed of this scenario, reportedly looked stunned for a moment and then started to laugh and laughed heartily for about 5 minutes and then shut the door.
Yeah, I think it's as simple as he likes to live in New York and she likes to live in California, and they just never could quite get
New
past
York is
that.
where I'd rather
Yeah,
stay.
exactly.
I think it's simply a matter of she is a cold, unfeeling woman who is difficult to live with.
I thought you liked Jennifer Aniston.
I think she looks great. She looks great. I think when she's acting, she has a kind of a nice way about her. But underneath, I can see this cold and unfeeling
I don't see it.
person, which is why
I
she's
think we
never
could
had
be-
big movie success.
I think we
she
could
has
be
been
friends.
she has been in dozens of movies. Well, Gina, I think also Beneath You.
What?
Is a Justin Theroux.
Huh?
A fun, carefree person. Not the person that you are here, but really a person who's
Do you think I have a
willing to take
secret-
chances.
Secret identity
Yeah.
I'm hiding from everybody?
Well, no, I just think it's in there.
Did Gina find the notes from Brad Pitt?
They were from me.
Brill Pim.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they were from Brill Pim.
Okay. Sports weather traffic.
Yay, U.S. women. They got the gold in hockey in a 3-2 shootout over Canada. So that's very exciting. We have been waiting for good news like that, and we got it.
Okay.
Weather, it's chilly right now. It's about 24 degrees, and we'll get up to 37 for a high today. Now, there's a chance of some flurries overnight and into tomorrow morning. So for our commute tomorrow, it might be, probably won't be as bad as it was earlier this week, but we will get a little more snow. That's brought to you by Haster Games. They have the best selection of the latest board games, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. It's a great place to stay and play. Remember, Haster has it, 6831 South State, and online at hastergames.com. Traffic, we've got 7th East closed, heading south at First South. It's due to a motorcycle crash earlier. The left turn lane from northbound 7th South to go west on First South is also closed. Crash eastbound 21st South at 3rd West. And those look like those are the major incidents you're dealing with right now. That's traffic.
Here's boner candidate number 3. I got bad service, so I'm taking back some tips. Police are looking to social media to help them catch a gray-haired bandit accused of stealing from a tip jar in the Lobster Trap restaurant in Bourne, Massachusetts. The older woman was standing near the tip jar at the takeout counter on Monday evening, said worker Olivia Slayton. I turned around and I saw that her hand was near the top of the tip jar, but I wasn't so sure, so I didn't want to accuse her of anything, Slayton said. The woman had ordered fish and chips and was waiting while restaurant workers buzzed around her. I don't even think twice. As I walked by, I didn't even think twice about it. As I walked by, I didn't see it, said employee Lainey Hatch. Employees remembered the woman was rude and complained about the service during her visit, but they didn't notice that money was missing from the tip jar until later. And when they did, they went to the surveillance tape for answers, and sure enough, it looks like she went there 3 times, went in the jar 3 times to grab cash and maybe look for larger bills, but we're not sure. We make a lower wage. It's not a minimum wage. Most of the money we make comes from those tips. And as hard as we work, it's really discouraging when someone would take that cash from us. And it's not the first time that this same woman has allegedly stolen from the tip jar. In October, a worker said the same woman came to the restaurant and stole from the lobster pot tip jar. It's kind of scummy, the workers say.
It's really scummy.
Very.
And she always complains about the bad service.
Oh, so that's how she justifies it then.
Boner candidate number 3. I got bad service, so I'm taking back some tips.
Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. All right, all right, all right.
You got to go to x96.com/live and see this guy.
Suspected car thief tried to convince police officers that he's Matthew McConaughey.
Nope, not even close.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Boner candidate number 2. I just know they're Democrats. A Republican congresswoman from New York saying many of those mass murderers, they end up being Democrats.
Apparently,
do you have proof of that?
Apparently, there is a meme going around accusing mass shooters of being Democrats, and Snopes has debunked it. So,
and boner candidate number 3, I got bad service, so I'm taking back some tips.
All right, there we go. This is round 2 of your boner voting. The winner here will get a 50-50 chance to be Boner of the Day. It'll go up against the winner of round 1 in Boner Fight. That'll happen at 9:20. So that's when Boner of the Day is decided. This is round 2. So decide which one of these 3 is the worst. Which one of these 3 deserves to go to Boner Fight and get that chance? 1, 2, or 3. Put the number of the one you think should win in the message of a text. Text it to 33986. You go to 877-602-9696. Talk to Katie in the producer's booth. She'll take your vote. Or you can go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Voting February 22 and vote there. You better hurry, though. You only got 3 minutes. This is round 2.
Gina Barberi, Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, 8:43. Time to award round 2 of your Boner voting.
And round 2 of the boner voting is brought to you.
Totally by.
Okay.
Completely 100%.
All right. By some French fries. You have good dipping sauce downstairs. So we had boner candidate number 1. All right. It's the guy who cops pull him over for drunk driving or car thievery, I guess. And he told them that he was Matthew McConaughey. Look at me. This is me, Matthew. Hey. All right. It's okay. No. But I guess it was worth a shot. You know, when he was younger, somebody told him.
Yeah,
you know who you look like?
You look like Matthew McConaughey.
And he's kind of played with that over the years. But things have not gone well for him.
Yeah.
And then boner candidate number 2. I just know they're Democrats. This is the congresswoman from New York who said in a radio talk show interview with talk show host Fred Dicker that she knows that most of the mass murderers are Democrats. I just know they are.
No cited evidence of
No, but I just know.
I saw a meme.
And I would say again, so even if that's true, I don't want Democrats to have assault.
I don't want
weapons
them murdering
either.
Well, as a Democrat, I think we have the right to have assault weapons, and we have the right to go out and murder people. If that's what Democrats do. And boner candidate number 3, I got bad service, so I'm taking back some tips. So kind of an old gray-haired woman. She's been stealing from the tip jar at the lobster pot. That's not good. Let's see. Well, Jaden won a hearty handshake?
A boner T-shirt.
Okay. A boner T-shirt. And the winner was boner candidate number 2. I just know they're Democrats.
All right. There we go. That one is now the winner of round 2.
Mm-hmm.
It will now have a 50-50 chance to become boner of the day. It'll go up against the winner of round 1 in boner fight. That happens at 9:20. All right. Now, Dana DeLorenzo from Ash vs. Evil Dead is supposed to be calling in.
Hasn't.
Has not yet.
Well, now what are we going to do?
I don't know. Let's have some moments of silence, shall we?
All right.
Let's just have a moment of silence.
Okay. You know, if we did, it would set off the dead air alarm.
I don't know if we have one of those.
Todd has it on his phone.
We have to do this.
What's that?
What's that? Join X96 and Real Salt Lake at the Beer Bar in downtown, which is a great bar if you've never been there.
Yeah, it is.
It's attached to Bar X, and it's Salt Lake's first tapping of the Uinta Brewery's new beer, RS Ale, which I'm surprised it's taken them this long to come up. RS Ale just is the perfect name.
Because that's what we call ale here in Utah, is L. I'll have a Pell L.
Corey O'Brien will be broadcasting live from the Beer Bar with the RSL team from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., giving away Uinta Brewery glasses to the first 50 people through the door and chances to win autographed jerseys from the team. So that's 5 to 7 at Beer Bar. We shouldn't have to say, but we probably should. You do have to be 21 or older to go to that. 161 East, 2nd South.
Is that
in Salt
allegedly?
Lake.
It's not allegedly.
No, that's
to be 21.
Actually,
you actually have to be 21.
They have good fries there with dipping sauce, Bill.
Yeah, they do.
You like
I know.
good fries with dipping sauce.
I know. Gina, I've been there.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
It says the first tapping, so I'm guessing that's just going to be an on tap, or is it going to be in stores?
I'm sure it'll be in stores.
Well, they're going to come in and tell us, aren't they?
Yeah.
Today?
A little later.
Can we back
later
up just,
on, yeah.
Can we back up just a little bit? I'm not. You guys keep saying about the joke. I don't. RSAL. I don't.
RSAL.
I don't get it.
No.
It's your basic Utah word of the day.
Sell.
Remember sell?
Oh, don't do it.
Words that end in ALE.
Yeah,
are pronounced L.
I've got it. So it's like RSL, like the
L?
soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Soccer.
got it.
I didn't think it was
Team.
that.
I'm slow today.
Well, we had a big day yesterday.
Oh, geez. Well,
I guess we can talk about Bob Evans here since she's not calling in.
Fox 13 for years and years. Bob Evans has been the co-anchor with Hope Woodside, and I I've never talked to him. I've never met him. He seems perfectly good on the air. You know, he delivers the news
guy.
straight ahead.
He's a straight
Yeah,
newsman.
he's kind of serious, and you can tell Hope is a little not that serious, but she's great too. But I guess I just was surprised that he's pretty funny. We went out there to do this thing called Bob Evans' 5 questions.
3 questions.
The 3 questions.
3 questions.
He asks people questions, and then we sat with him for about a half an hour on camera.
See, that's where he tricks you. Yeah. He thinks it's just 3 questions, but he sits down and talks to you for all that time, and then he picks 3.
So the 3 questions, so that longer interview, they'll post the whole thing,
right?
If people want to go watch that.
But this Sunday night, I guess on the what are they? They're at 9 o'clock. I think.
Yeah.
They'll do the 3 question segment, and he's done this with dozens, hundreds of people,
many famous people,
Imagine Dragons, and he's done our boss, Doyle Hansen, and you know, he's a pretty good interviewer. He's a good interviewer. And he was just nice and funny. He had this kind of an off kilter sense of humor. I was put immediately at ease. But you walk into that Fox studio. First of all, it's nice. I mean, there's a lot of people in there. It seems big and busy, and there are so many fans of the Radio from Hell show in there,
and so many of our former interns.
Yeah, I thought it was great. So, anyway, we'll be on this Sunday night.
Yeah.
So we still have a minute here to talk to. Hi, Dana.
There she is.
Good morning. Radio from Hell. You should be the radio station on Ash vs. Evil Dead, like in the show.
Right. We should be. We'd be happy to do it if you need it.
Okay, I'll just call up Sam Raimi real quick. I actually don't have his number, but we're going to
come on.
I'm just going to call up Sam Raimi real quick and say, hey, Sam, in Elk Grove, when we're driving, we need Radio from Hell. It's such a great name.
So Dana, would you remind us, please? Now, I watch Ash vs. Evil Dead, but it's been a while since the last season. 3rd season is coming up starting
on Sunday on Stars.
Sunday, okay. Where you play Kelly, where did we leave Kelly and Pablo at the end of the last season?
So at the season finale of season 2, Ash is the town hero. He has redeemed himself and his name for showing everyone that he's not ashy slashy. He is in fact a badass demon fighter, even though he is an idiot. Spoiler alert, by the way, for all the slackers who haven't caught up. We went back in time. Well, yeah, just, time travel, that old chestnut. And we saved Pablo. And so at the end, we see them at this parade where Ash Williams is being hailed.
That's right.
Kelly, as we can see, we see a little bit. At the very end, the audience sees Ruby, the 80s Ruby that was let out in the time travel.
Right.
I know this is guys, are you following me?
We are.
Because we watched the show.
The 80s, okay, great. The 80s Ruby, you see a little hint of her that she's back. And with Kelly, she's always been the common sense of the trifecta with the Ghost Beaters. She's the one constantly like, Ash, are you sure you want to make that deal with this idiot ball, all that stuff? So we kind of see that she's not super thrilled. 2 reasons. One, fighting evil is the only thing that gives her life purpose right now. All she needs is this revenge. This is the only thing that drives her after losing her family and being dragged into this fight. So she's not too sure that she kind of thinks that evil's just on a vacation. It's never going to go away. But also, then at the beginning of season 3, Ash and Pablo have set up shop in Elk Grove, selling things. Ash has a hardware store, Pablo has fish chips. That's Kelly's true horror show. That's a nightmare. Kelly just, you know what I mean? So she hightails it out of there to just go be a very aggressive bartender who beats the crap out of people who take too many peanuts.
Oh, I love it.
You know what I mean?
I love it. Listen, you are great as Kelly. I had not ever seen you in anything that I could recall before Ash.
That's
that's
because I haven't been in anything.
Well, I've looked up.
We got someone in the chat room who says, "What was it like working with Craig Ferguson?" Because you were a semi-regular on Craig Ferguson.
Oh yeah, I had a little stint on that. I have to say, him and Josh Robert Thompson. Oh man, they are just such master improvisationalists. Whatever you think is scripted, it's not.
Mhm.
I never knew what was happening from 1 minute to the other. Literally, like the way I started off like being an animatronic rhino on the wall that I never, by the way, never puppeteered in my life. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, what do you mean I got the job? What is happening? And then all of a sudden he said, we're going to do a sketch. You're going to play the CBS executive. Oh, and then you're going to pour water on yourself in a 50-degree studio. Oh, and then you're just going to say and improvise. I had no idea what was happening from 1 minute to the next, but I have to give them a testament because they are true geniuses. And man, it was everything I could do just to not drown because they were so quick and so smart and so fast.
Dana,
great experience.
Dana, does anybody ever say to you, "Hey, Dana, will you slow down just a little bit? I'm getting kind of tired."
Yeah, like my mom, especially.
Yeah, you are good. You're great. You
are.
You're great on the show. Your voice is terrific. It's you have that husky voice.
Well, she's done a lot of voice work too.
Pablo, the guy who plays Pablo, is terrific, and of course we've met Ash,
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. We've met him before. Do the three of you you seem to have a really great chemistry and a lot of fun?
No, we hate each other.
Yeah, I thought.
No,
Yep.
That's a joke.
Yeah.
No, we very, very lucky
Yeah.
because usually they do a lot of chemistry reads, they're called. I didn't even test with Ray, so they were planning on throwing us together, and we had never even met. So it ended up just working out great, where it somehow Powers that Be just knew we were going to gel. And it's kind of hard not to get along with Bruce Campbell. I mean, he's everything you would hope. I mean, you met him.
Yeah,
he's fantastic in every sense of the word.
He's
really
kind of like Ash.
Took me under his chainsaw arm.
Yeah, he's kind of like Ash.
He does. I have to say, maybe he'll be mad I'm telling this. He does put on that front. He does put on that personality when he's with crowds. But I will say for certain, he is actually brilliant. You have to be very smart to play someone stupid. I'm dead serious. And he's like one of those guys that's always regaling us on set with. I mean, he's like an avid biography reader, and he just knows everything. Like he remembers everything. He's a fascinating human being, and he's not. I promise you, he is actually a much nicer and definitely smarter person than Ash Williams. And it's been. I'm just so grateful he took me under his chainsaw wing, as I like to say. And
All right.
I have a great time with
You
him.
are Dana. You're terrific. We unfortunately we have to go, or we would really talk to you for another half an hour.
We would.
No, you would be exhausted. Don't lie. You'd be exhausted in 5 more minutes.
All right. Dana.
You need a nap.
Dana
It was lovely talking to you.
Dana DeLorenzo. She's Kelly on Ash vs. Evil Dead on Stars, and the third season
Sunday.
starts this Sunday.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I am tired.
Wow.
She's funny.
She's funny, though.
Yeah, she's
great on the show. I know you're not watching the show, Gina.
No, but actually listening to her,
You may want to.
I may want to.
You know, and you could just watch a couple of episodes here and there. The storyline is
doesn't matter.
Stupid, you know, and it's convoluted and stupid. But just the stuff that goes on is bizarre and funny. And anyway.
We're looking pretty good. Northbound I-15 through the Draper Sandy area, I'm seeing a little bit of slowage on the UDOT cameras, but nothing dramatic. Looks like pretty normal slowage for this time of the morning. So good on you, everybody. Looking for a great deal on a used smartphone? Don't want to meet a creepy guy in a parking lot? Bad Apple repairs, buys, sells, and trades smartphones. Go to badapplerepair.com.
All right.
Well, I guess we got to do something here.
Yes. You teased earlier.
Yeah. You know, a lot of snow this week, and traffic was bad, and there were accidents. And I said earlier, I did I think it was the corner of 9th East and 1st South, a bumper just lying there in the snow that they had left behind.
I don't need that anymore.
Yeah. Collisions, and cars got banged up. So if you're one of those unfortunate people whose car got banged up, call Everest Collision Repair, or better yet, download the app.
Yeah, and you think, well, I don't need it. I'm not in an accident. Just get it and put it on your phone, because then when you are in an accident, it's ready to go. You can get an estimate quicker that way. They can help you get a tow truck that way.
Everest Collision Repair will give you a gift card valued at $200 in extra repairs or detail services at no charge. Also, Everest will put $200. So, I mean, what they're doing is putting $200 toward an additional dent, or a detail or some kind of way to make your car look better. Sean Hogan and the team work with all the insurance companies. And again, it's entirely your choice where your car gets repaired. Remember that.
Yes.
So Everest Collision Repair, they have 4 locations: Salt Lake, Sandy, Tooele, and Ogden. For more, go to everestcollisionrepair.com.
All right, I'm told Jim Norton is on the phone next. Stand by. This week we give you a spoiler-free, I can't call it a review really, we gush about Black Panther. We answer your questions. Jimmy interviews the cast of Game Night and a whole lot more. Every Monday you get a free Not Safe for Work episode. Me and my best friends sitting in my basement recording studio, drinking and talking about the stuff we love. Sci-fi movies, TV, comics, games, and toys. You can find us at geekshowpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.
geekshowpodcast.com.
I call this poem, I Hate X96. I can ride the wildest bronco in the wild and woolly west. I can take him, I can break him, let him do his level best. I can handle any cattle, ever wore a coat of hair. Hell, I've even had to tussle with a mean old grizzly bear. But there's one thing I can't handle, it nearly makes me sick. I gotta listen to that god-awful music just to hear my poems on X96. It's nice of Carrie and Bill to play my poems on the radio, but God, that music they put on about makes my lunch chunks blow. Who are these violent femmes? Their songs just make me sick. And then there's that Morrissey, a whining limey prick. When that 9-inch nails feller sings closer, it makes me feel mighty mean. And them 2 cute boys from Eraser are the biggest sissies I've ever seen. Give me country music from Bocephus, from Merle, and from Willie. I don't want no caterwauling from The Cure, or bands with names that are downright silly, like Hoodoo Gurus, Gene Loves Jezebel, Weezer, and Ween, and MC 900-Foot Jesus. Jesus, what the hell does that mean? I wish I could do my cowboy poems on a station with good old boys what plays country tunes, instead of that X96 with its long-haired, earring-wearing, sissified, sushi-eating, devil-worshipping goons. There is one good thing about X96. Heed my words if you wanna. At least them immoral bastards don't play them skank hooer songs by Madonna. I'm Conway Skinner.
From Hell is the longest running morning show in Utah. That doesn't necessarily mean it's good, but, I mean, come on. You know, we'll take what we can get. X96.
All right.
No pee breaks, people. No pee breaks.
No pee breaks because, well, Jim Norton is on the phone.
Mr. Norton, are you there?
Hang on, I get him. I got him. There he is. There we go.
Hi, Mr. Norton. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Well, for the most part, we're excited you're coming to Salt Lake for a couple of stand-up shows. I think it's just one night, but 2 shows on March 3rd.
March 3rd? Next
March
week.
3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming from Vancouver. By the way, Salt Lake is a nightmare to get to from Vancouver. Everything's got like a 3-hour layover. So they said the shows are selling well. I was going to cancel it because I'm like, I don't feel like sitting in an airport. And I'm still coming Saturday the 3rd, yeah.
I'm glad. Thanks for making the sacrifice.
I know. It's a really douchey thing to say. I believe me, I know. But I'm just, that's my problem. Oh, guys, the airport. But I get paranoid that I'll miss the show. Like, I get so worried I'm going to wind up like taking a flight, having a 3-hour layover, and something going wrong, and I get there late.
Yeah. You don't mind sounding douchey at all, though, do you?
Not, dude, I thrive on it.
I know.
No.
I know.
If I minded sounding douchey, I wouldn't have been doing radio since 2000. I love it.
It's the stock and trade.
Yeah, it's an interesting niche you have got, I think, in stand-up, and you're very unique. And I listen to you on podcast and radio a little bit here and there when I get the chance. It's very entertaining, I got to say.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of things. We heard that Colin had a heart attack.
Yes.
He's okay, though,
okay?
right?
I wouldn't know. I haven't checked on him. No, I'm kidding. He's all right. Yeah, I talked to him. He's fine.
I thought you guys were.
Oh, you had me there.
Yeah. Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
No. I texted him. He said he's doing better. We spoke on the phone. I was going to go see him, but he was getting a procedure the next morning.
Okay.
He's back home resting right now. I should go see him, but I've been kind of giving him a few days to rest.
Well,
but he's actually on the mend.
Good. You got to come to Salt Lake anyway.
Yeah. And then this thing.
Yeah, exactly. What am I going to do? Go look at him in the hospital bed and depress myself?
Yeah, exactly. Then there's this Netflix show, thing, The Irishman. And I'm looking at all of the people that were in this.
You're running in big company here.
You are.
You know, it was amazing. I only have one scene, and it's not a major scene in the movie, but De Niro and Pesci are in my scene.
Mm-hmm.
So I walk in the room, and Scorsese is sitting there, and De Niro and Pesci are having a conversation. There's no one else in the room because it was like they had shot the prior scene.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm literally looking at De Niro and Pesci and Scorsese. I'm literally on the set of Raging Bull.
Yeah.
And it was a very surreal moment, and I had to play it cool. De Niro I know because I've worked with before, but just to see Pesci and Scorsese there was kind of overwhelming.
That's called The Irishman, and it's coming. It's
on Netflix now, isn't it?
Has it already dropped on Netflix?
No. They haven't even finished. They might be done filming. It's not going to come out until 2019.
Oh.
It stars De Niro, Pesci. It's also got Bobby Cannavale, Al Pacino, Harvey Keitel. Like, the cast is sickening.
Ray Romano.
It's Romano, who's been great in everything he's done. It's an incredible cast. Sebastian Maniscalco has a part in it. It's a really great cast. And Scorsese on the set is really interesting. He's so nice to everybody.
Really?
Like, a guy on that level doesn't have to make people uncomfortable. He doesn't have to yell at anybody. He was a gentleman. Everybody loved him.
He doesn't have to be nice to Jim Norton.
Dude, he absolutely didn't. He literally could have spit on me when I walked in. I would have just wiped it off and pretended I didn't notice.
Yeah.
And he treated me great.
Yeah.
He treated me great.
Jim, I just want to Ray Romano. You sort of mentioned him too. That I never cared for Ray Romano, like doing stand up and stuff. But since he started doing some serious acting off his TV show, he's great.
Wow, his acting is really, really solid. And I think after, like, Raymond, he wound up doing that Men of a Certain Age show.
Right, oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden people are like, oh, yeah, he can grow a beard and really do some serious acting. He's a great actor, man. I think there's no pressure on him, too, because he's probably made $200 million doing Raymond, so he knows he's set, so he can just go out and enjoy himself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Jim Norton, you're coming to town for 2 shows at Wise Guys, one night only, 2 shows, March 3rd. You've been in Salt Lake City before. Is there any place you go when you come here?
No, not really, dude. I stay out of trouble when I'm on the road. I kind of just stay in the room. I'm really boring on the road. I go, I do my dumb show, I wake up the next day, maybe I go to the gym and I eat, I sit in the room. I do not do much at all because I'm just not comfortable with the kind of problems I can run into, especially with me too. And like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit in the room alone.
Yeah, you don't need to spend any time in a jail in Salt Lake.
I really don't. I mean, I get in. It's a beautiful city. It's clean. Everybody's polite. And then I do my show and I leave. I'll be in and out in less than 24 hours this time.
All right. Thanks, Jim.
Jim, nice talking to you. March 3rd, 2 shows. Wise Guys. You can get tickets for wiseguyscomedy.com.
Right.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
No See you.
He described us like we were Canada.
Well,
it is. Well,
clean, everybody's polite.
And you're nice.
If we only had free health care, that would be great.
So many people do say that when they come to Salt Lake. Everybody's polite. It's yeah. Well, you don't know the dark underbelly of this.
Where's the
place.
dark underbelly?
Right here.
Listen, I thought Jim might know it because he has a reputation,
Well,
for dark underbellies?
for doing dark underbellies.
I'm just curious. Where's the dark underbelly of Salt Lake?
Well, we'll talk off
surely
the air.
we must have one.
We do. I can tell you what it is and where it is, but I don't want to do it on the air because.
I'll bet it's right over there.
Well, it's in that general
Oh,
direction.
I never
yeah.
go over there.
You've been over there. You've been under the viaduct. I know you have.
You've driven through.
You've rolled
Look
up
straight
your
ahead. Don't look out the side.
You've rolled up your windows and made sure the car doors were locked when you've been there, but you've been there. I've walked around in it.
You've wallowed in it.
Sometimes.
Wallowed in the dark underbelly of Salt Lake.
You got a giveaway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, let's give away, and then we'll break and then get to Boner Fight.
X96 is proud to welcome 30 Seconds to Mars and Walk the Moon to USANA Amphitheater on Saturday, July 14th. Tickets are on sale now at all SmithTix locations and SmithTix.com. You can also enter to win at X96.com. He didn't give me the keyword. So I'm going to say we're going to do it via
and he's not in there to give you the keyword.
No keyword.
And again, if we could get the keywords on the sheet, that would be.
We'll just take a phone call.
Somebody might steal them.
Saving a step.
Should we take a phone call, or will you give me the keyword?
Well, he's in there now. You can decide.
Why don't we have? Let's have a moment of silence.
What's wrong with this building?
If I may.
If
I may, you guys all have access to this so that I never have to send anything.
I don't have access.
No, you do. I promise that all of you do. So I'm willing to be the fall guy, but really, you guys can all. Yeah,
it's Gina that you're putting on the
Right.
on the.
But you
under the
guys
focus
can all
here.
access it.
Do you know where it is, Gina?
We'll
No
just do
idea.
it.
I've never looked
I
at
will
it.
show you, but we'll just take a phone call.
It's in a safe. You have to know the combination.
If it was just printed on the sheet, make him print it on the sheet. If you
33
tell
left.
him to do it, he will do that. All right?
2 right.
877-602-9696.
What is the prize?
It's tickets to see 30 Seconds to Mars
Oh,
at
that's
USANA Amphitheater on the 14th of August.
That show will get, if not sell out, get close to selling out. So
Mhm.
random caller, 877-602-9696.
All right. If I tell him to do it, he won't. But if you tell him, he will. So have him do that. All right. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Boner Fight coming up. Boner of the day. First, we got to tell you about the Advocates.
UtahAdvocates.com is their website.
No, do it as Snuffy and Guffy. No?
No,
I don't know.
No, I don't.
Oh, all right.
I got to feel the inspiration.
Okay, that was Dylan. We should post that video if we can from the other day when they were Snuffy and Guffy, the Advocates.
Next time we do Excel, we'll do it Snuffy and Guffy.
But no, the Advocates.
I like talking about banged up cars.
But yeah, if you've banged up your car or yourself in an accident, you need the Advocates to help you navigate like your medical bills, and they'll head all that off at the pass, so you don't have to deal with
They're
it.
personal injury attorneys, and they treat you like a person, not just a number. They'll know your name. They will return your phone calls. The Advocates, when they have your injury case, they help with your car rentals and all of that stuff. So if you've been in an accident and you don't know what to do, it can't hurt you to call them because there's no charge. Call them and let them determine whether or not you have a case, something that they would like to take on. It's 801-355-5550, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Same goes with the chat feature on their website, UtahAdvocates.com.
Don't be intimidated. It's free to talk to an attorney, regardless of what you've been told
They're
or what
nice.
you think.
They're nice people.
And what's the worst that could happen is they could say, "I'm sorry, there's no case there for us." So give it a try. UtahAdvocates.com.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
Nobody around here has been eating lead paint.
us. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
And be ready to do that as soon as you hear the two contestants for Boner Fight to decide which one is Boner of the Day. But first, we got a reasonably decent amount of news, actually. I won't lie to you.
Lie to me and tell me there's nothing.
I'd go as far as it's just shy of being.
Oh, crap.
News and opinnuendo.
All right, I mean, there's stuff to talk about. I'm just not prepared.
Always,
but I'll get some stuff while you do the intro here.
Some leftover stuff there.
All right.
Brought to you by.
Join X96 in Real Salt Lake at the Beer Bar in downtown Salt Lake for the first tapping of Uena Brewery's new beer, the RS Ale. Corey O'Brien will be broadcasting live from the Beer Bar with RSL team from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., giving away Uena Brewery glasses to the first 50 people through the door and chances to win autographed jerseys from the team. Beer Bar, 161 East, 2nd South in Salt Lake.
Let me give you a long news intro. How about that?
And now, the #1 investigating varied news team in Jefferson County. Jan Schuyler. Wayne Schuyler. Unrelenting in uncovering the story behind the story. #1 in marriage, facts, news, and blowing the lid off of the hottest stories.
I was just thinking about the Smashing Pumpkin show.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm.
You excited for the Smashing Pumpkins?
Well, kind of. And I think my favorite Smashing Pumpkin song is 1979, but I can't.
But you're not sure?
Yeah. Let me just hear the. That doesn't help, Gina.
That's exactly how it starts.
It doesn't sound any. Nothing.
Exactly how it starts.
It's. Yeah, that's it. I can sort of suss out.
Well, let's see how close she got.
I love this song.
Exactly what I said.
You know what I love is that little. There. What I just. That's genius production.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I like that song a lot. So, and the news.
That's what you were thinking about.
That's what I was thinking about, rather than preparing the news.
He's not going to be able to go on now. He's just going to sing that.
And I don't really. It's a song where I don't even listen to the lyrics. I don't know what it's about.
This one was hard to play on Rock Band.
This is good too. This is great. They've done some great. They did some great songs.
A lot of great songs in here. We got a ton of them.
But that 1979, it's just the sound of it. I don't even know the lyrics. I just like the sound of the whole thing.
I could sing it for you every morning.
I'm just looking up the lyrics, and they don't make much sense, so it doesn't matter. All right. Melania Trump parents are not citizens of the United States.
Chain migration.
They are?
They are not.
They are not.
They have green cards, but now they're getting close.
Well, it's
to
good thing they
becoming
have a daughter here who's a citizen who can
chain them into
pave the way for them to come over. Do they, Bill? Let me ask you this: do they have advanced degrees and professional people that can contribute?
No, they're babysitters. They live with Melania to take care of Barron because God knows he's a handful. So they're calling this chain migration to make it seem like a bad and ugly thing.
They use that term.
Yeah. But what immigration has been since the beginning is chain migration. The father in Ireland, the potato famine is going on, and there's nothing. And the father says, "Okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to leave Ireland. I'm going to go to the United States. And if I can get things going there, I'm bringing you here.
I'll send for you.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
That's how my ancestors got here.
That's what it is.
Well, and it's that term chain migration isn't in any of the rules, legislation, laws. That's not the words that they use. They use that word to scare you.
Because you know what they're doing? It's a terrorist who's going to come here, and then he's going to bring his terrorist buddies into the country.
It's keeping families together.
Mm-hmm.
So they try to make it sound ugly. This is another word that the Republicans have used to try and make things sound ugly. Entitlement programs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Social Security, Medicare.
Mm-hmm.
They use the term entitlements.
When they should be using the term earned.
Well, I'm going to say they're right. Because you're damn right I'm entitled to it.
Because I earned it.
I paid into that system.
These are entitlements. Shove it. I earned it. I paid into it all these years. And you're right. I'm entitled to it.
To your Social Security.
Yes.
And my Medicare.
My unemployment.
Absolutely.
My unemployment.
I've been paying this time.
Look at the line item on your pay stub.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Well, you know, Bill, they're referring to those welfare queens who drive their Cadillacs to get their food.
That don't
Shut
exist.
up.
They don't
Ronald
exist.
Reagan's speechwriters made that up.
Yeah.
In other news,
Yes.
I don't know why she'd want to do it, but Jenny Wilson is apparently. I've been having this argument with Gina that I'm thinking Jenny Wilson may not run against Mitt Romney because, well, you know, but she's making noises like she really is. She took aim at Mitt Romney's response to gun violence the other day in a speech. She said, "Now, don't get me wrong. I support the Second Amendment." But Mr. Romney's response to the shooting in Florida is tepid at best, and so she's trying to make some noise and make some waves. And good luck, Jenny. We like you.
Ha ha ha! I am a normal human from Utah. I am just like you. I am from here.
Remains.
Yes.
Remains.
Yeah, remains found at the property of a construction business here in Salt Lake in November have now been positively identified. They found the remains, a guy buried there. This is a man who'd been reported missing in 2012. Salt Lake City Police said the remains were identified as Jose Ignacio Valdez Guzman, who also went by the name...
The Rat?
Well, of course. No, Gina. Of course. When you're a Mexican and you work with a bunch of white guys, what are they going to call you?
Oh,
well,
no.
maybe Poncho.
Oh, no.
But probably Nacho.
Ugh. Why?
Nacho is his nickname. Mr. Valdez Guzman was 35 when he was reported missing. In June of 2012, his remains were recovered on November 19th after police had received a tip that a body had been buried on the property of Los Lobos Paving and Construction. The owner of that business, Carlos Trevizio, was, well, so maybe he wasn't working. Maybe he liked nachos. I don't know. Was working where the owner of the business was arrested after the body was recovered. He was charged with killing Mr. Valdez Guzman. A witness told police he heard 2 or 3 gunshots and saw Valdez Guzman on the ground after the man confronted Trevizio at the business. According to the charging documents, the witness told police he saw Valdez Guzman attempt to get up, but Mr. Trevizio got on top of him and stabbed him in the neck and then slit his throat.
Jeez.
3 gunshots.
He's very...
Stab him in the neck and slit his
dead.
throat. And, yeah. So there was a witness, which Mr. Trevizio apparently did not know. Excuse me, Senor Trevizio probably didn't know about.
Murder?
Yes. Jared Kushner. Oh, I don't want to do that story. Apparently, Kelly, General Kelly, who's trying to be the staff member, the chief of staff.
Allegedly.
Yeah, thank you. Has been saying, no, Kushner cannot have top security clearance. He can't. He just can't be entitled to see.
But he has access to classified information.
Yeah, but Kushner's pushing back. Kelly's saying we should restrict him. And you know why he's saying that? Because he knows that Jared Kushner is going to be the next indictment.
Probably. And Jared seems to be asking for more secret information than anybody on the staff.
Yeah. He'll be the next person indicted.
I think so. I think he's in there for sure.
Now, Dave Owen thinks it'll be Christopher Steele.
No, Dave.
No.
For what?
No, you couldn't be more wrong, Dave.
No.
Apparently, Nacho is a legit nickname for Ignacio. Nacho is the diminutive form of Ignacio in Mexico.
Thank you.
So
thank you, our Hispanic friends of the program, for setting me straight.
It's Boner Fight with Radio from Hell on X96.
I was going to do a story here just quickly about Canadian curlers. And there's a funny little story about it. The woman, she's a Canadian woman who's a curler, and her husband is not on the team, but he's there with her and nervously watching on the sidelines with a beer in each hand.
Oh, good.
He's a Canadian.
I love it. All right.
Two Molsons, eh?
Yeah. Boner fight. Here's the winner of round 1 going up against the winner of round 2. Round 1, sure, that's a reasonable response to a bitter divorce. Woman, this bitter divorce, and so she says, well, and she lost the house in the divorce. Her husband got to keep it. She said, well, I'll show you. I'm going to burn the house down. She put a bunch of mattresses in the living room, set them on fire, and took off. Not only did she destroy that house, 19 other houses in the neighborhood burned down. Sure, that's a reasonable response to a bitter divorce. And boner candidate number 2, I just know they're Democrats. A congresswoman from New York being interviewed on a radio show, talk show, hosted by Fred Dicker, said, listen, most of these mass murderers end up being committed by Democrats. What, any proof of that? I just know.
I saw a meme.
I know.
That's all it takes for them is a meme.
Yeah. Number 2.
All right, so there you go. You've got to decide which one of these deserves to be boner of the day. Candidate 1 or candidate 2. You decide. Put the candidate number of the one you think should win in the message of a text. And then text that to 33986. That's one way you can vote. Another way is to call 877-602-9696. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Fight February 22. If you do not see that box, refresh. It should appear. You've got 4 minutes to decide who is boner of the day. Let's go.
X96 is Utah's original alternative.
The good news is that I've learned that if you combine the mangosteen fruit with certain alcohols, it will cure cancer. And I've got the margarita recipe here, the cancer-curing margarita recipe right here. 1 shot of tequila, 2 shots of Zango, and 3/4 shot of triple sec, all right?
It's a martini.
That'll cure your cancer.
That will cure cancer. I am cancer-free for 15 years.
And there's your proof.
So there you go. What more proof do you need?
So apparently they really put this in there in the company literature.
Oh, hell yeah.
You see that?
You can't do that.
No. What you do is you infer it.
Mm-hmm.
Say, oh,
you get your distributors to talk about it.
You don't put it in your literature.
Look, all I can say to Zango is, why aren't I your spokesman? I'm cancer-free for 15 years. I found that it's the mixing with alcohol that makes it work. Why don't they call
reaction
me? This is $1 million company. This is my ticket to a big pay.
And they're local here. They should know who you are.
They should know who I am, right? I could give them a whole list of recipes, drink recipes, martinis, margaritas, daiquiris that will, cure cancer and depression.
You're awfully happy now that you do.
I'm happy and cancer-free.
Everybody knows that Zango won't cure cancer. It's Tahitian noni that cures cancer.
Can you mix that with alcohol?
Oh, no.
No, you don't want to do that, no.
You don't want to drink that, period.
Wonder what does this mean for them?
They have 15 days to respond. My guess is that either Orrin Hatch will swoop in like Super Hatch and save the day because he's big on that, supplement business stuff, or they'll just have to take that out of their literature.
Yeah, I think probably they have to say, sorry, we won't do it anymore.
They'll have to tell the people who sell it, don't say that.
Really cure cancer. Or we don't have any evidence.
We don't have any evidence that it cures cancer. But Kerry Jackson, 15 years cancer-free because of the magic cancer-free margarita.
Because cancer's one disease. I love that when they say it cures cancer. Cancer's a whole bunch of different things.
Well, that's the beauty of it. It cures cancer.
That's how good.
Kinds of
apparently,
that's how good this stuff is.
All cancer's the same. You drink this.
You drank all our good liquor, you big moocher.
I like that. That's a new one I put.
You drank all our good liquor, you big moocher.
The bad liquor's still here, but the good.
I drink a bit.
And I'll change this drop from...
What do you say you and me go out and get plastered?
...to...
What do you say you and me go out and get...
Cure cancer!
What are you guys doing? We're curing cancer.
I am curing cancer with this magic margarita recipe, okay?
Right this second.
Hey, right this second, I'm curing
cancer.
right now, even as I stand here and look at you.
Cancer cells dying right and left.
All right, it's time to award Boner of the Day.
And Boner of the Day is brought to you by some bacon and eggs. Partially by?
Totally by.
Totally by some bacon and some eggs. So we had Boner candidate number 1. Yeah, that's a reasonable response to a bitter divorce. Woman in the midst of a bitter divorce or at the end of a bitter divorce, she lost the house to her husband. So her solution to get back at him is to burn down the house, which she did. And then it spread to other houses, and a total of 20 houses burned. That's a reasonable response to a bitter divorce, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then Boner candidate number 2, I just know they're Democrats. A Republican congresswoman from New York. I'd give you her name, but you're not voting for her. She was being interviewed on a talk show in New York, hosted by Fred Dicker. And she, in the midst of the conversation, so, you know, many of these mass murderers, we just know they end up being Democrats. They're most we know that.
No evidence. She saw a meme.
No.
And that's all it took.
That was number 2.
Yep.
And that was the winner of the Boner fight.
All right. That is your Boner of the Day for today. It is now qualified for Boner of the Week, which we will decide, well, Dave will decide, Dave the Flower Guy, at about this time tomorrow.
So, R.S. Ale.
What took us so long to
That's such a
figure
natural
that out? It makes perfect sense.
A natural pairing with soccer and beer.
Soccer and beer, and just the play on the letters. Somebody was sitting around going, hey, you know what we ought to do? And RS Ale. Now, I haven't had a chance to try it yet, but Uinta Brewing is doing the RS Ale for RSL Salt Lake, the soccer team. Jeremy is here from Uinta. What sort of beer is this?
Well, Bill, this is an India Pale Ale, which if you're paying attention right now to what's happened in the craft beer industry over about the last 10 years or so, India Pale Ales have been on a tear all the way across the country.
People are in love with hops.
That's absolutely the truth.
Yeah, and so I haven't seen the cans or is it cans or bottles, or is it just on tap?
On tap.
So we're starting out just on tap. We'll
Okay.
put the beer in kegs and get it all out all across Salt Lake City and throughout the region. Then we're actually releasing bottles, but it'll be in our sampler pack only. So you'll only be able to get that in our summer sampler. Comes out around March.
Now, will we be able to get it at Rio Tinto?
Yes, is the obvious answer to that.
I would hope so.
Absolutely.
But Bill, you can try it tonight on tap at the beer bar.
Oh, right, that's
We're
right.
having an event there.
Yeah, what Corey's going to be there?
5 to 7.
Yeah, beer bar.
And I have here in my copy that RSL players are going to be there, and we have Tony Beltran with us. Are you going to be there tonight, Tony?
Unfortunately not tonight. I have an 8-month-old that I have to put to bed. So I will not get to try the beer. But I've never had a sip of beer before. Did you hear that, Coach? So
Tony Beltran, 11th year with RSL, and he's got a brace on. He got knee injury, but you're going to be fine and kicking the ball soon?
soon, I hope, yes. The doctors tell me around summer. So I'll be like a new summer signing come midway this year.
So, has the team already started playing some exhibition games, or?
Yes, they've been in Arizona and now Orlando for preseason for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and they come back today actually, and our first game is next Saturday away at FC Dallas.
Man, it seems like soccer. It's a tough thing. It's a tough sport, but it's the season. Why? How many games do you play?
We play 34 regular season games, and then there's, out of competition games. We ended up playing probably between 40 and 45, but the season is very grueling, especially since we're playing during the heat of the summer, and with all the travel across America, it can be tough.
Well, in the heat of the summer, a nice sip of RS Ale in the heat of the summer.
Let's get that on the sideline.
They play, potentially into November.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get like December off, and then January you're right back. They get barely any time
and
off
any
at all.
one of those months is great for drinking RS Ale. The beer created especially for this. You have done that, right, Jeremy?
Well, yep. Uinta became the official craft beer sponsor last year, and so we started the conversation around a beer that was branded for the team. It's something that a lot of other MLS clubs around the country have partnered with other craft breweries. Such a great alignment. Craft beer fans and soccer fans are very much one and the same.
Yeah, and really a soccer crowd. It really has to be full of beer before it's a great. But it can be a good crowd, but enough beer will take it to being a great crowd, right?
It most definitely, from the standpoint of watching the game, it's certainly enjoyable, but celebrating a win, that's where I like to toast with an RS Ale.
So Uinta Brewery's new RS Ale tonight, debuting at the beer bar, 5 to 7. And it says here they're going to be giving away Uinta Brewery glasses for the first 50 people through the door and chances to win autographed jerseys from the team.
I can't wait to try it. Jeremy, thank you for brewing beer.
Thank you for enjoying it.
And Tony, the best of luck on your knee rehab and all of that.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
And the best of luck. I know you just got married and about a year ago it says here.
Just over a year ago, and we have an 8-month-old son.
And so things are you got to. This is tougher than soccer in a way.
Oh yes, it is. Yeah. after soccer, I can sleep, and now I can't.
Yeah. Thanks for both coming by. We'll look forward to trying it. And again, that event is tonight. Beer bar. There you can try that RS Ale. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate it. We got to talk about New Dwello here really quick.
Lolly at New Dwello Homes. So if you want to buy a house I think the cutoff is 437.
Yeah. It's quite a bit of money for a home. And if you text the word money to 62687, what you'll get back is a questionnaire. It's just 7 questions. If you can answer those 7 questions honestly and affirmatively, Lolly will show you the different grants, because it's not just one grant that's available. There's all kinds of different government programs that you could be available for down payment assistance.
And this is good for if you are a home seller. Text the word money to 62687, because if you have that information at hand, when people come to look at your home and buy it, you could say, "Oh, by the way, you may be able to get this down payment money in here." So text the word money to 62687.
Radio from Hell on X96.
Ella, honey, it's time for bed.
X96.
So Roseanne is going to start pretty soon. Is that a Netflix?
No, it's network.
That's
real-
network. Yeah. And they got everybody back.
Yeah.
I heard Laurie Metcalf talking about it.
And somehow they're going to work both.
That's because that show, the Roseanne show. It was about it was supposed to be kind of real life gritty, but they did things on the show too that were like surreal sometimes.
Only in the later episodes.
So they'll do something to work Becky in. And
Carrie, you don't care about
I don't
Roseanne?
care.
you didn't like it in the first place.
No, I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah. I watched it. It was all right. I remember we were in Scotland, and we're at the bed and breakfast.
Right, yeah.
And the guy who ran the bed and breakfast was sitting in the living room watching Roseanne. And he said to me, so how accurate is that?
Is
that? And I went, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
It's an American Family.
Yeah.
But I'm just not interested in this new incarnation.
Why? Do you know why?
No, I don't know.
You're not feeling it.
I'm just not feeling it.
I'm curious about
I'm really
it.
curious.
Knowing what I know about Roseanne these days, I'm just not
okay.
interested, really.
Well, like what?
Oh, she's just a Trump supporter.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Well, I like her because she's nutty.
That explains it,
She's
doesn't
got
it?
some weird ideas.
She's kind of unhinged. I know. I find her sort of interesting.
But it's got John Goodman.
John Goodman and Laurie Metcalf. She's
whom I both love.
She is She's been in this play on Broadway. I forget the name of it. That's she's going to win awards for.
Well, no, she's nominated for Lady Bird too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she's great. And the only person DJ, the kid. I hope they don't bring him back. They will. That is.
He hasn't done anything, has he?
I don't. I hope not, because he was no good on that show.
No good kid.
No good. DJ. Anyway,
there's too much TV.
There is.
That's the other thing, is that there's so much TV.
I forget what to watch. I know there are things there that when I first hear about them, I go, "Oh, I want to check that out."
We're spoiled with good TV.
And then I forget
We
about
should
it.
be allowed 3 or 4 good shows at a time.
This is how much TV there is.
Yeah.
I think I may have to drop some of Daddy's stories, those WB superhero shows.
I'm surprised
or
you
CW.
would pick
CW.
There's too
ones.
many?
I'm surprised you would pick some of those to drop. Get rid of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend or.
It's actually been kind of interesting, and the season's done. So
I haven't seen. I still haven't finished the first season. I like it, but
again, it's easy to get through it quickly because I don't stick around for the songs. I just watch the show. Although I did save a song.
The songs are hilarious. Oh, you've got one there?
I got one that's probably going to. I'll give you a little preview. Gina heard it yesterday when I.
Is this
Oh,
from
is this the giving birth one?
Yeah, this is the song about the miracle of birth.
Is this from the current season?
This is from the season finally, I believe.
It's a long song, isn't it?
Yeah, that's. I don't know what to do with it. That's
most
the thing.
of them are on that show.
I don't know what. That's the problem. I don't know what to do with it, but it's just hilarious. So.
But it is so worth it. Okay, listen up. Mama is gonna tell you how wonderful birth really is.
That's all Gina could say when she was hearing the song was, it's not a miracle. It's anything but.
She describes it well.
She does, very.
All the mystery and wonder and beauty on this earth, nothing can compare to the miracle of birth.
This is lovely.
Well, your cervix has been closed and plugged with mucus. But soon that viscous plug will be discharged.
Absolutely
It's called
true.
the bloody show.
Yeah, the bloody show.
Bloody show.
Diarrhea means that labor's drawing nearer, and those sharp, painful contractions cause your cervix to enlarge.
I'm sorry.
Then you race your ass over to the hospital.
Yep.
Where they'll strap you in for the hell ride of your life. It's what your body's made for. You'll soon be in so much pain that you'll probably exclaim, please just kill me now, doctor, doula, or midwife.
Whoever's there.
Yes.
Tear goes your vagina.
Yep.
Never will it be its cute little self again.
Nope.
But the good news is, if you have a few more kids, the rest will basically plop right out.
That's not true either.
Is that not true?
No, that's not true.
After hours and hours of utter torture, you may poop yourself and or throw up as you bear down. 'Cause you're a goddess.
Yes.
Though you've never been this tired. Wait, here comes the ring of fire. That's your vagina bursting into flames as the head starts to crown.
Do you appreciate us now? Do you appreciate us?
You would think that God would be a better engineer.
No, Bill, it's our fault.
Oh, that's right.
If we hadn't eaten from the tree, he told us, and he said your curse is painful child. It's right there in the Bible, Bill.
I'm sorry, you're right. You know, we Democrats don't believe in the Bible.
Over the place the baby on your breast. You may be happy for a moment, but then for months you'll be depressed. 'Cause you've wrecked your life and body. You'll think, was it really worth all that for the miracle
There it is.
of a bird?
There it is.
But of course it was.
Very, very accurate.
Yeah, I lifted that. I just didn't know what to do with it.
Well, now you did.
Now we've used it.
Brilliant writing on that show, and all of the actors, they don't lip sync. They all perform their own stuff, and they do all their own dancing. And
I remember having the thought after, when I was in labor with each of my kids, like, why don't I remember this being this painful? How could I not? No, and
there's
I
some
think
kind of
there's
drug.
something
There is.
that, and I'm like, what? I don't know why anybody does this twice. This is horrible.
No, look it up.
And
I think there is a chemical shift in the brain.
It must be, because I remember lying there thinking, how did I do this again? This, I remember now how horrible it is, and then you forget.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
All right, let's do the promo and get out of here.
It's a damn miracle. That's what it is.
On Friday's Radio from Hell show.
At 6:45, it's hello? Yeah? What? You can talk to us about whatever you like.
At 8 a.m., it's the meh question of the week. You can send us a question to radiofromhell@x96.com.
And at 8:45, our old friend, Channel 4's News Vulcan, Chris Van Oker, will be here to talk about his new podcast. Chris Van Oker, you remember him?
I do. That's all on Friday's Radio from Hell show, X96.
Not good enough?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that'll do.
I'm going home.
I got to go to parent-teacher conferences.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I have to go to a school thing tonight. So.
Getting my taxes done today.
We've all got fun stuff to do.
The miracle of birth,
Yeah. Oh, and the dog trainer's coming today, too.
Oh.
All right, live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
A wizard did it.
John Smith is next, allegedly.
A 1-hour nonstop music wingding starts now. Utah's original alternative, X96.